start. That is not what it's supposed to look like. Hi. Give me 1 second. Why didn't that work? What the heck? Oh, there we go. We're good. Hi, guys. Good morning, evening. It's not a VTuber stream without just a bit of scuff. I know what my toggles are. I know which scenes are which. It's fine. We're good. Morning, everyone. I'm Fenwick Alcester, the Demon Moose, and in a first for my channel, this is covering my bases here. This is a technically sponsored stream in the sense that Ryan here above me has been very gracious in giving me access to some things a bit early and just the ability to interview with him. However, I am not being compensated at all. All opinions are my own. I just really fucking love this game and this project. He didn't reach out to me. I reached out to him.
Yep.
So yes, sponsored, but like I really just like this.
Sponsored in time, right?
It's sponsored in time, exactly. Good morning, Luca. Or good evening in your case. I hope that you enjoy it for as little as you can hopefully stick around for. Luca's on Japan time, so I do believe it's like 1 a.m.
Oh wow, yeah.
But yeah, welcome everyone. Ryan, why
So,
don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
yeah, so I'm Ryan Millage. I'm the creator, CEO, whatever you want to call it, of Chrono Core TCG. Parent company's Chrono Core Studios. Doesn't really matter, but just in case we ever branch out and make anything else, that's the parent company name. Uh, been working on Chrono Core for 5 years now. We went to Gen Con last year, demoed the game for a lot of people. Everything went really well. Felt like we got a lot of great feedback for what we are trying to do. Came back, made a bunch of changes in the past year, and now we're getting ready to launch on Kickstarter on March 18th.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and it was at that Gen Con demo that I discovered this game and
Yep.
bought in basically on the spot. That was that was I still find that really funny because I literally it was a case of I was at Gen Con with a few friends, first Gen Con ever,
Mine too.
and fantastic, yeah, and I was like, and the rest of my friends were at some other event that was running kind of late, and so I was standing there and going, okay, well, I don't have anything scheduled right now. Let's see, what can I do? Oh yeah, let's go to the playtest hall. Let's just see. So head over, luck out, and manage to get in before the last session of the day. And walk in, and I go, well, okay, I'll grab my number, stand in line, realize that I was like not last, but last in the last round of picks and in the second half of the last round of picks for that one.
Yeah.
So I look at my number and I basically went, yeah, okay, well, I'll probably get something. Who knows?
Yeah. The funny story about that too is when we were in the playtesting area, they told us there's not usually a lot of people that come in for trading card games. So we had no idea what to expect going into that. And we had 16 hours worth of playtest sessions scheduled over the span of Gen Con. So we kind of wondered, are we going to be sitting here for 8, 10, 12 of these hours by ourselves with no one coming to play? But somehow we actually we filled all the slots, and everybody that came over and checked it out for the most part really enjoyed it. It was some of the people that they didn't really necessarily like TCGs or really play TCGs, but they were like, whatever, we'll come give it a shot. And their experience at the end was, yeah, it's a pretty cool game. I just don't play trading card games. I'm thinking, okay, do you have any feedback? No, not really. Okay, that's so helpful. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time to sit down and play the game.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, that was a lucky thing for me because like I said, I was expecting to get, basically last pick, take a pick of whatever is left. And as
Yeah,
I was
whatever random games on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And then the organizers started calling out for specific demographics, and it was like family units, a couple of others, experienced TCG players, and oh boy, like my hand shot up so quick.
You're probably the only one too. It seemed like in each grouping there was maybe one or two that were interested in TCGs. It was like, okay, then they would kind of drill down and be like, oh, this is a mech based trading card game, and then somebody would be like, and slowly coming down, and then like one other person left, and we're like, all right, well, that's fine. At least somebody's interested, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's like I was happy to play something up my alley, and I mean, you know this story.
Yes, I do.
because because I sat down and totally fine, first learning session. And then we got to the part where myself and the other guy I played a game, and this is why, dear viewers, it was very lucky that I was in the last session, the last block for playtesting, because
8 o'clock, I think.
9, it
9.
was,
Yeah, it
yeah,
might have been. Yeah.
it was pushing it, because I am a control player. I love my control decks. When I play something, I look for the control option. I look for the option that makes you sit there and go, we are playing this out to completion, and you are not going to get your easy win. I may lose, but it's not going to be a fast loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah, because I don't think you weren't playing against me. You were playing against either Danny or Corey. I can't remember which one. And then I was done easily way before you guys, and I just kind of slid over and started watching. And I was like, "What is happening right now?"
Yeah, that game was against the other playtester.
Okay, that's right. You got yes, that's right. Because we got
Yeah.
done, and then you guys. Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Yeah, it was against the other playtester, and I took particular delight because he labeled himself right out the gate as an aggro player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thus being my natural enemy. And
For sure.
and I did feel a bit bad throughout the process. Like, oh, sorry guys, I'm locking in for this one.
No, it was completely fine. It was funny because I usually play control, but my dev brain, I don't. It's one of those things where you have to test everything, right? So you don't necessarily dive into one thing in a full clip right away. It's surface testing everything, making sure everything is fairly balanced on the surface, and then you can start drilling down into those different kind of custom builds and stuff. But even what we had set up for that, like we had play tested it, but I had never gone into it saying, I'm going to make your life miserable at every chance I get here. Like I was trying to win within a certain period of time, whereas you were trying to make him miserable and drag him out into the deep like a shark and just annihilate him after an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I did lose. I did end up losing. Barely.
Yeah.
But it took an hour and a half. Which given that those test blocks are supposed to be an hour long, was yeah.
Which it was fine. Everybody was just cleaning up and hanging out, so it was no big deal. Nobody cared. And it was good for me to see, so that we had some more feedback on what could be done in that type of situation and how we could kind of tinker some things here and there so that we kept everything as possible within like 30 to 40 minute play session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have no doubt that most of the time that totally holds.
Yep. Yeah.
And we'll see later if that still holds.
Yeah, right. I put together a fairly mid-range aggro build for you because I knew that you would be playing control. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's seen my deck list.
Yep. I didn't cheat. I had a deck put together already that I put together in actual like physical card form here. So I went ahead and went through, and I just essentially pulled this deck apart and put it into Tabletop Simulator. So
right,
I didn't tailor make a deck to try to beat you.
And see, I was half expecting that. I was genuinely half expecting you to look at that list and you go, okay, let's play this game.
Is I could have done some very mean things after seeing your deck and been like, oh yeah, I know I could put this, and this in here, and essentially shut down anything and everything he's going to try to do. But nah, it's no fun. You got to give the people a show.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into some. I did last minute manage to actually write some questions. Uh, uh, Forgive me, I am a bit new to this. I have never done this before.
Everybody's got to start somewhere. You're
Yeah,
good.
exactly. So first off, what inspired you to design Chrono Core? Where does Chrono Core come from?
This could be a long story or a short story. I'll keep it as short as possible so we can keep it moving. So I grew up playing Armored Core and Front Mission video games. I've always loved mechs. Um, Initially, during the pandemic, when I was stuck at home, there was a game on Kickstarter that had customizable mech miniatures, right? And it was a tabletop skirmish game. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. Like, I'd like to kind of make my own version of that because they're based out of China, and it was an ambitious project to say the least. But I wanted to make something slightly different than what they were trying to do. So it started out as a tabletop skirmish game with miniatures. And after about 6 months of kind of going through everything and really thinking about the cost of all the tooling and stuff like that for all the miniatures that would have to get done, I quickly changed my tune and went, I could probably make this into a card game. It would be way cheaper to make. It's way faster for people to play. It'd probably be more fun in the end. So then that kind of started the whole journey from about late 2019, I would say, till now. So yeah.
Yeah, that would do it. So I assume that then you're probably also a fan of things like BattleTech, maybe Lancer.
So BattleTech and Lancer, I didn't know really existed as a tabletop miniatures game version, right? I'd known BattleTech had a PC game and stuff like that
Mm.
because I'd played it before. Um, but I had no clue it was a miniatures game until 2021, probably, when I started pitching the idea to people at LGSs and kind of telling them what I was doing. They were like, "Oh, do you play BattleTech?" And I'm like, "No, not. What do you? I play on the computer. Yeah, sure. Why? What do you mean?" So then, yeah, I got introduced to that world, and needless to say, I have not ever had time to even dip my toe into that, sadly. But it would be cool to do one day. Probably not BattleTech, but maybe a Chrono Core version. We'll see.
Yeah, no, it's I was slow on the uptake on BattleTech as well. Like love it because I've always wanted to play a miniature game of some sort. But
Yeah,
all the big ones are, it's like Warhammer, where it's like, I hope you have like $2,000 for your army because otherwise this isn't happening. Uh, so I was kind of drawn a bit to BattleTech because it's like you get 3 figures and you're good, and you can
mm-hmm.
start playing and start doing things. So that really kind of
Yes, so.
drew me in there, and from there it was like, well, I suppose like I also played Mech Warrior way
Okay.
back,
Yeah.
but like one of my favorite themes, like big stompy mechs, love them.
Yeah, same. I played so much Armored Core video game wise through the years. I couldn't even tell you how many hours I spent on that between Armored Core and Final Fantasy. It's like the two biggest games I played throughout my life. So yeah, a lot of influence there.
Makes sense, makes sense. I figured there's so much influence from other things, like there must be more mech stuff behind here, which
Yeah.
was actually going to be my next question was, what other mech media out there? uh,
Yes, I mean, obviously, I've watched Gundam, right? Like, I'm aware of its existence. I partake in the Gundam. I have built Gunpla. I have some sitting right up there. There's one sitting there. Uh, um, yeah, I don't think there was really so much. I don't think there was really so much from Gundam, in all honesty. Um, the majority of what I wanted to develop and design the game around was being able to build your mech as you're playing. Whereas Gundam isn't really that, right? Gundam is these are your different Gundams, right? Your different mechs. And there's a pilot in there and they're running around doing their things throughout the anime series. And it's a pretty cohesive story, for each, I guess, whatever they call it, timeline that they have. Um, but not so much what I looked at, I would say. And then the Gundam TCG got announced last fall, and I was was less than thrilled about it, to say the least.
I can
But
imagine. Yeah.
I kind of assumed it was coming. I'd kind of heard some chatter uh, the past year before they announced it, and once we got past Gen Con, I thought, well, if they're not announcing at Gen Con, it's probably not happening, at least not this year. And then we got into October, and they were like, surprise, doof. And I was like, well, okay, I guess we're doing this. So yeah, no, the game plays so much different than Gundam. I don't see why mech fans couldn't play both. Um, it's a completely different experience.
Oh, yeah. Variety, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Some people are definitely going to be drawn to that IP, and it is what it is. We're not going to be able to pull those people away. But I think for the most part, if somebody sat down and played the two games, and they were more interested in what actually feels thematically like piloting a mech, they would probably gravitate towards Chrono Core more rather than just playing out, whole Gundams down from different eras or whatever, however they do it. I can't remember, but yeah, that's pretty much just a big monster battler derived from their One Piece game. I would say it's just a modified version of One Piece,
Right.
with the Gundam IP slapped on top of it. So it's if that's what you're into, that's awesome. That's not what we are at all. So
Ghost in the Shell, is that a thing for you? Like, it's kind of it's kind of in the realm, but
it is in the realm, but it's not something I had very much experience with. I would say I'm aware of it. Um, yeah, I don't even know. I don't think I've ever actually read or seen anything Ghost in the Shell wise, other than maybe like clips here and there that people have posted or something like that. But I've never actually sat down and looked through any of it.
all right. Uh, the other thing that's been burning on my mind is, where's the name come from?
So that's a funny story too. So the chrono part of it obviously is time, right? So how does that make any sense? The game started out without any kind of energy system or resource system. Every card had a, how would you say, a cooldown timer on it, right? So everything was time based as far as that went. So if you would use an ability on a card, you would just put a die down on it, and it would have like a 2 or 3 for a cooldown, however many rounds. And then you could actually play other cards that would spin that die up or spin that die down, and you could do it to your opponent's die too. So the name came from that, the aspect of being able to essentially change the timing on your cooldowns for all the different abilities. And then it slowly kind of came into, we call them X Chronos. And there is a reason for that in the lore now. It is not out yet, but it will be. So yeah, it started there, and then we just kind of folded it in to the lore and how the mechs work eventually.
All right. Uh, audio check, audio check. I'm seeing a comment about no audio from Ryan. You hear me just fine? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. We were fine and then we weren't. Okay. Just one.
Okay,
Cool. Okay.
that's
Good.
I need more. I can hear him.
Okay. We're good. All right.
I know you guys want more lore. You'll get more lore. It's coming.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I just no audio. It's like uh-oh. Pause.
Yeah, that would not be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Do an interview where we can't hear the person we're interviewing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it goes fantastically. Definitely not the reason. That's not definitely not the reason I pushed back 5 minutes.
Oh man.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a time-based mechanic. That's really neat. I like that concept, and I think I can see why that would be difficult to work with.
Yeah,
Uh,
having that many dice out for the timers on the cards there was just too much. You're trying to remember all your abilities for those cards, and then you're trying to keep track of all these dice on the table plus your opponent's stuff, and it just it was to a point where I was like, okay, nah, this is not gonna work. I gotta figure out a way to fix this and change this. So then that slowly evolved into the resource system we have now, where essentially your equipment like drives your resources. So your mech, and as you build it, is giving you more power and more resources to use throughout the game. So yeah, that's not to say that there won't be some type of time function in the future that happens.
mhm. Oh, we're
We'll just leave it at
getting a bit ahead of ourselves there. That's like that's 5 questions down, man. Come
that. I
on.
know. Sorry, my bad. My bad. I'll stop. I will stop.
Yeah. All right. What's lost my train of thought. Like I had something, and then the potential audio came up, and it was just like everything else went like, whew.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I was
It
trying
was-
to talk to give you some time to check it out.
oh, right. Okay. Yeah, we're good. So we've covered like mech things that mech media and that sort of thing. What's your background like in terms of other TCGs? Is that a thing that you've been big in? Are you? I see something on the back shelf there that I don't think is exclusively Chrono Core.
So these are all Chrono Core here. These are some of the promo cards that we had for Gen Con. There are, yes, I do play other TCGs. So I'm an old person in terms of today's society. I played Pokemon when it first came out, when I was like preteen. I played that for 2-3 years, and then slowly kind of transitioned into trying to play Magic at a teenager age, and was essentially bullied out of the Magic the Gathering community locally just because they were so brutal and refused to help me build decks or learn. Really, it was all older people. They didn't want to play with a teenager, like it is what it is. But so then I pretty much quit TCGs for, I don't know, age 13 to 25, 26.
Wow.
So it was a huge break, right? And then one of my buddies is a huge Dragon Ball fan, and I'm a pretty big Dragon Ball fan as well. So he was like, hey, there's this Dragon Ball Super game. Do you want to try it out? And I was like, man, I haven't played card games in forever. Like, I don't know if I want to even dip my toe back into this, And he slowly talked me into it. So we started playing Dragon Ball Super back before it became Dragon Ball Masters. And so we played Dragon Ball for years. I think we got into that set like 6 or something. It was 1 or 2 years into when the game was already being played. So like catching up on that and learning Masters, I don't think there is a harder game to learn as like, hey, I haven't played card games in forever. I'm gonna just jump into Dragon Ball. Like there is so much in that game that can go wrong for you if you don't understand it, and learning it is an absolute pain in the butt. There's layers upon layers of stuff that you can deal with, from the triggers on counterattacks and being able to essentially like play a card and stop somebody's entire turn. If you don't know the card pool in that game, you're essentially you're shit out of luck, to be honest. um Yu-Gi-Oh is not something I had experience with, but I've heard the learning curve on Yu-Gi-Oh can also be pretty brutal. So I don't know,
I
but
tried learning a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. I
yeah.
and I quickly ran into two problems. Really, they're the same problem, but expressed itself in two different ways.
Yeah.
The first bit is the card knowledge is the card knowledge required is nutty. Like, you really do just need to know exactly what your opponent's hand is.
That makes sense. That's a lot how Dragon Ball felt too.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't understand the meta, especially playing competitively, it could be very brutal. You'll lose in 3 turns. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that hits on exactly the other problem I had with Yu-Gi-Oh, which is no resource system. No resource system,
yeah,
and it's very fast. And as established, I'm a control player.
yeah, yeah.
My favorite archetypes A, require good card knowledge to begin with, and B, assume that this game is going to take a while.
Or at least can take a while,
Or at
right?
least
I
or at
mean,
least can take a while. And
yeah,
basically neither of those are true with Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah,
And so,
yeah.
like,
That's
I
what.
tried getting into it, and like I found an archetype that I kind of liked, and I discovered
Mhm.
that my favorite archetype just really kind of sucks and doesn't have a whole lot of support, and people don't like it because, oddly enough, they don't like it for all the reasons that I like it. It's like, it's slow, it's consistent, it doesn't do things fast, it has a fair number of bricks, but if you can get past those, you're good. And that just kind of doesn't vibe with Yu-Gi-Oh, apparently.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So like, I guess other than Dragon Ball, right? I kind of ventured into One Piece, played One Piece for a while. A lot of Bandai games, oddly enough. I mean, like, I know how Pokemon plays. I've played Pokemon online and stuff like that. I didn't play the physical card game because I wasn't gonna buy more Pokemon cards. I tried with my kids and they just weren't interested. So we kind of let that fall to the side. Sorcery is another indie TCG that I played when it came out. I kind of randomly got involved in a couple other trading card games, oddly enough, that were indies. There was one called I'm not going to remember the name now. Anyway, I got on the playtesting team with them, developed a friendship, and started helping them kind of figure out what they needed to do to kind of move the game forward from where it was. So that's where I started helping develop, I guess. And that kind of turned into, why am I helping someone else fix their game when I could just, make my own game too?
Yeah. Bad break. I, I
Oh,
I pushed it off as long as I could. Yeah.
so does it not come back? How does that work?
So people who do not have ads disabled one way or another, uh, it's basically it's overrode audio with full screen ads for next, based on my timer, next 10 seconds. So I only noticed
Okay.
I only noticed towards the end of it. So it's possible they missed a bit. Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, no, it's fine. I should have saw it out of the corner of my eye. Looks like we're back.
Classic. Right, yeah. Pokemon was my starting point,
Yeah.
and uh as again, like, quite similar to you in many respects. I started off with Pokemon, uh and I did go competitive with it.
Okay.
I made it as far as being in the wild card pool for nationals,
Nice.
and
That's pretty good. There's a lot of people that play Pokemon.
but that was like a decade ago.
It's still an accomplishment. The
Yeah.
best I got was in One Piece. I got like top 20. I was just outside the top 16 to get a nationals invite, which was like ironically one of the first tournaments I actually played in. But after that, it kind of just all went because the
Yeah.
deck that I played was very specific to like my play style of playing mid range, and it fell off the map after they did a couple bans and tweaks and stuff like right after that tournament. So
Yeah. Yeah, my best performance was at provincials where I placed like 11th in my division, I believe.
Oh, nice.
And it was an unlucky 11th. In the sense that uh be it luck or just because of how things were placed, I was put up against all of the strongest players in my division, and predictably did not perform as well as some of my peers who were not pitted against some of the strongest players in the division. So that dropped it down a bit, but I mean, still, it was fun. It was great.
Yeah.
Like, I've still got.
Somebody in the chat said, "What Pokemon deck did I play?" I don't, dude. You're asking me what deck I played when I was 11 years old.
My
Like,
I can answer that question for mine
yeah.
because it's still mostly built and it's still sitting in a deck box behind me. It was a mine was a psychic dark based one. This is gonna directly date it, based on Tyranitar and Houndoom Prime,
Okay.
where basically its goal was to sit there with a bunch of really big, really angry mons, and flood my opponent's bench with damage counters.
Oh, okay, that makes
And
sense.
sit there and go, I am not going to acknowledge the guy sitting right in front of you. All the people that I care about are sitting right back there on the bench, and I'm just going to
Yeah.
continue dropping damage counters on them, continue doing whatever the heck I can. Let's just kill everything behind you and then
Let's
wipe
try to
you
win
out.
this all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say probably from my 11, 12-year-old brain style of first set of Pokemon, and then when Jungle dropped, I was probably playing some kind of Pikachu Raichu version of a deck, would be my guess, and it was probably terrible just because I liked Raichu and everyone loved Pikachu, but I was a Raichu fan for whatever reason, even though that card was terrible, absolutely terrible for what it was. But I don't know, everybody else played Charizard or Blastoise, it seemed. So
Yeah. Still totally respectable.
yeah, yeah. I was a kid, man. I played what I liked. I didn't know what was good.
Oh yeah. Exactly. I mean, that should be how it is.
Yeah, Raichu was pretty bad, he said in the chat.
Yeah. Just, oh man, this guy's got the deep lore. Yeah, Hitmonchan for the,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yep, yep.
All right, I see you.
He's coming in with all the knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. And going a bit back to the actual topic game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Uh, so what's been your favorite part? Like, absolute, just like, what's the thing that, like, I want more of this? I want to do this forever.
Yeah, the developing part is a blast. Like I wasn't sure if I was really going to enjoy it or if it was something that I was hoping I was going to bring other people in to the help with, just because I didn't really have that much experience with it. Um, Out of everything that I do, from the different hats that I wear for, head of marketing, art director, I pretty much do everything except for head up playtesting. We've got a couple guys that are local that are really good at that, and then we've got people in Australia that do a lot of playtesting for us too. So it gives us a lot of great feedback. But doing dev work is so fun. I mean, being able to sit down and just come up with cards and then go play test them and see if they're broken or not, and then tweak it and then keep going and keep going and keep going and see how far you can really push things is definitely my favorite part.
Definitely been. I'm a huge tabletop RPG guy. That's my bread and butter. And my line
Uh-huh.
has always been I don't DM so much. I like world building, I like home brewing, I like developing. So I totally get that, because it's like I don't even necessarily need to play. I just need to make things.
Right. Yeah.
I just need to
I used
make
to play
things
D
for
and
other
D, so
people.
we could go down that road of D&D, but we'll leave that for another
Oh
day.
yeah,
Otherwise, this will
we'd be yeah
sidetrack for an hour.
we'd be here forever. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the favorite part. What about like most difficult, like hardest, like?
Dude, I don't think I realized um, how difficult it is to get into the actual scene of trading card games and being able to get meetings with people that matter and be able to establish those business connections and business relationships with people. Um, we went from not really knowing anybody in a 3 to 4 year span to at Gamma, we met so many people and became friends with so many people and created business relationships with so many people that I had no clue. It was, and it's because we know some people. Um, I'm friends with the guys that are remaking Warlord Saga of the Storm. So
Mm,
that was a huge, absolutely huge bridge for us to be just friends with them and talk to them, and be able to pick their brain about just business stuff, right? And talk about normal stuff too. But like a lot of the talk is business stuff and how things are being run and what we're doing and how we're building the game and things like that. But they got us a lot of upfront connections with people, and then just making connections with those people then led to other connections. We went from we were going to have 4 or 5 meetings at Gamma. That was over a 3 day period that we were there. We were expecting 4 to 5 meetings, period. We ended up with 20 something meetings in 3 days. It turned into just constant going. I mean, yeah, I don't know how people do that for a whole week, and I don't know if the experience is abnormal for us, but it seemed like every time we sat down with someone and showed them the game, they were instantly trying to get someone else they knew over to check out the game. So that was awesome, obviously, from just an experience wise and business wise. But yeah, the man making actual business connections and getting in front of people that matter and can help really move your game forward as far as being legitimate and allowing people to see that, hey, this is a game that actually has a future. This is not just a random person making a game that doesn't really know what they're doing and it's an art project, right? We've all seen that on Kickstarter, unfortunately. We've all seen games that became just rug pulls because people were doing it for the absolute wrong reason. But like, I haven't put 5 years into this and taken the time away from family and friends and everything else that I could have been doing to not see this out and not have a future in place for this game, right? Like that is the absolute goal.
right. Oh, excuse me. Mm.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, building relationships, like, always, like, man, why is that always the hard part for everything? Like,
It's a lot of you don't know until you know,
yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
you think, oh, I can just do all this marketing and people come to Kickstarter and it'll be great. And then you really start to sit down and think about it and you're like, but what do we do after Kickstarter? How do we keep the game going? How do we get the game in front of more people? How do we get it into LGSs? How do we potentially get into retail space that is not just a local game store? Like there's a lot of those things that a lot of people just don't think about at all. Whereas I've been so far ahead of having all the artwork done now, right? Games fully developed, right? Like I was at a point where I could focus on those building the business aspects from moving forward way before most people have been able to. Because typically Kickstarter is just help me get money to make this a reality, right? Whereas ours is invest in us so that we can bring you the best game we possibly can from here into the future. And it gives us the ability to then go to distribution companies and go, look at this. We have this many people interested in the game. We have this much money invested in the game. Is this something that you're willing to partner up on and consider carrying and helping us get into LGSs and beyond, right? So like, there's not a lot of mech-based or sci-fi games out there. It's us and Gundam right now. I mean, in all reality, I don't know of any other mech trading card games that are currently being developed or even shown off. There's plenty of other games. There's board games and stuff like that. There's some really cool stuff out there that I've seen, and some stuff I saw at Gamma too, but they're not anywhere near what we're trying to do, right? Like, not only are we doing competitive play, we have, draft and sealed already ready to go. We have 2v2 team mode ready to go. We're working on 3 to 4 player free for all still. That'll be ready to go by the time everything gets to everybody in like October, November. But we're also working on a PvE mode. So it's a lot. It is a lot for, we've got 3-4 people that are kind of main people that help with the game, including me. Most of the ideas come from me, and I run them through other people, and then we just kind of sit down and go through it and really drill down into what we're trying to accomplish with those. So yeah, I'll stop expanding upon thoughts just in case you have other questions that
oh man, I mean, my entire freaking list of questions is just wiped now. Like, gee, thanks. No,
yeah, I know, right?
No, it's like all good.
Trying to stick to my lane here on the questions.
Yeah. No, it's good. Say what you want to say.
Yeah. Right, what else you got for me? Let's go.
Yeah. The PvE thing is fascinating because you always see it, like you see it here and there where, one or two, a lot of TCGs have always like kind of flirted with the idea, but it's always felt, almost always ends up feeling a bit, like, oh, let's just kind of toss it in. Here's some basic things. And I've never had one land yet. It's like that it works.
That has been, yeah. A lot of people have told me that Lorcana has a really good PvE system. I have no clue. I don't play Lorcana. I played it for a little bit when it first came out and stuff, and I quickly decided that going after ink and lore and stuff like that was just not an interest to me, whether it was Disney or not. Like, there's a lot of cool Disney stuff, don't get me wrong, but yeah, somebody mentioned WoW TCG, so that's something we've kind of been looking at pulling apart, I would say, is getting some stuff from the WoW TCG PvE modes that they had. They had dungeons and they had like the big raids. I think what we're kind of focusing on is the dungeon aspect of how they ran that, which is funny because I had no clue until about 6 months ago that existed. And a lot of what they had in their dungeon mode, ironically, is stuff that I had planned for what we're going to do. So kind of like, you want a short rundown of it, I guess?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Absolutely.
So right now the plan is essentially you'll have a campaign box, right? It'll come with 4 starter deck things in it. So there'll be like 30 card decks. You'll have all your starting equipment. You'll have new pilots, new cores, new starting equipment and weapons with them. And then they'll just have a small like starter deck for the campaign. So if you're going to start out, you're going to start out weaker. As you progress through the campaign and do things, you'll unlock more cards that you'll be able to get out of what's essentially like a store, I would say. So you'll be able to use points that you accrue from different achievement types, whether that be like defeating a boss in a certain way with a certain number of people, with certain types of chassis or whatever, right? So there'll be achievements for each one of those bosses that you face, and you'll get points, you'll go buy new cards, you'll upgrade your deck as you progress through. Each of the monsters or bosses, right, is going to have like a different difficulty level on the front and back. And then the game will actually scale with how many people are playing the game. So if you're playing solo, you're going to draw a certain number of cards based on what the boss card says. For the mob deck, which is like all the little mini monsters that are going to come out, and then the action deck for the boss itself. And then as you scale, it scales the number of cards for each of those decks that get pulled out each turn or each round. So that's kind of what we're working with right now, and the idea behind it. There's been some discussion about almost like a choose your own adventure type situation with the campaign, where you can go to different areas, and depending on which area you go to, different things happen, right? And we'll see if that becomes a thing or not. But like right now, it's structured as like a linear. You're progressing through the campaign in a certain direction, and then you're going to end up at like the big boss, right? And all these crazy things happen, and that essentially turns into what the WoW raid would be, where if you get to that and you stall out, you can go back and you can start progressing through different parts at a higher difficulty to earn more fragments or whatever the currency is going to be, to buy more cards out of that PvE set to be able to upgrade your deck and try to go back into that main big boss and try to fight it again, right? So all the cards from the PvP or the main set, right? All the structure decks that we're bringing out, the whole booster set, that is all compatible with all the PvE stuff that we'll be bringing out too. So you can mix and match any of the cards in. The only thing you can't do is bring the PvE cards into the PvP system, right? Because those cards are not going to be balanced for competitive play.
Wow.
That's what I
Okay.
got so far.
Yeah, no, that's that is a far cry from here's some basic rules to play on
I
your
know.
own because you're a loser with no friends. Like, which is because straight up that's how a lot of a lot of the, you know, one player PvE and also like one player table, you know, board game stuff always kind of feel. It's like, hey, so we're gonna add this in, you know, as an
As a
afterthought, as a, you know, as a sort of like, wow, do you really have nothing else to do? But
right, yeah, you can play this as solo. It'll be playable solo, or you can play it co-op, right? So the main goal was, we know there's a lot of people out there that just don't like playing competitive. Like you just don't. So like if you want to play one versus one in a, you know, completely constructed format, that's awesome. You can play against your friends, whatever. But if sometimes like those people just aren't feeling it and they want to do something else, you can sit down and play the co-op experience, right? And if you want to, you can do them as one shots, almost like a roguelite version, where you can just pull out the whatever boss you want to play and the cards associated with it, slap it down on the table. Everybody goes crazy, has fun with it, right? Or you can play through the campaign. Totally up to you.
fantastic. Yeah, that also definitely gets into a bit more overlap with the TTRPG scene as well. Like
Yeah.
that definitely leans a bit more in that direction as well, which I mean, hardly hardly a bad thing as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Favorite, oh, Rye is a question. Favorite character card slash art card that we like. Hmm.
I got something
Interesting.
to show off for this one.
Go right ahead.
So this was the first artwork that was ever made and ever come up with as far as a card as well. This is the first pilot. So this is the Alora Necris card, and this is actually the first sample that we ever had made. You can kind of do this. So this is what the pilot cards originally looked like, and that's the selective foiling. Compared to this is the newest version of her in an alt art.
Man, I'm so looking forward to that. Like, that design is so damn good.
So by default, she's my favorite because she was the first. It just kind of works out that way.
the the new version of Laura Necros is definitely up there for me in
Yeah.
terms of designs that I really like. Uh Although I gotta say, just in terms of like designs that I like, I have it was one of the demo cards that I got
Okay.
at Gen Con. And
Oh,
it's one of the early Basilisk cores.
let's
I
see.
really like the Basilisk.
So this is the full art version of the basilisk. Maybe Is it going to come into frame? And what is with this camera today? It just does not like me.
There we go.
So that's that version, right? That's no foil. And when you flip it, that's where all the selective foil is.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
So I mean, all the cards in the set that are foil will be selective foil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have, obviously, I don't have full art, but the one I've got is really nice, and also I do have a full art Pegasus core that not full not foil, but very, very nice.
Yeah, which would probably be the one you got at Gen Con, right?
It would be, yes.
So that would be this one here. I wonder if the sleeves is what's doing it.
Yeah, that's one, right? The one.
So that's the front side, which these have changed obviously in layout quite a bit to make them just easier to read and total and everything. And that's the back side. But for the most part, like the way that these arts are set up and everything, these are the same. The layouts have just improved and become better and easier to read.
Yeah, it's been cool looking at the few earlier cards that I had, and then when I got the demo decks, seeing how those compared and seeing the things since. It's been really cool seeing the progression of, oh, that's what it looks like now. Oh, all right, like that's a neat change.
Yeah, so like here, I'll show this off too so people can see it. So there's a couple special things no, I'll let you get into it. I don't know if you're going to ask questions about special stuff we're doing during the Kickstarter or in the set, so I'll hold off and wait just in case.
I am indeed, and so I will ask that question now while it's fresh on mind. What do we have in store for the Kickstarter? March 18th, people. Comes out, launches in 10 days.
So the cool thing we're doing, typically stretch goals, I feel like they're kind of lackluster, right? So like we have what's called a backer pack. Essentially, if you back the campaign at over $1, like any tier you actually get. So if you just got structure decks, right? You can get all 3 structure decks for $40 as a package tier. If you get those, you get this backer pack, and it comes with 14 cards in it right away. They're all of the borderless versions of the pilots and all the front and back core and overclock cores, like the one I showed you that was non-hollow. As we progress through the stretch goals, we're planning on adding in foil versions of those and alternate border versions of those. Those will be part of the stretch goals.
Yeah, okay, that's neat. Yeah, I like that. I also like it because like yeah.
So I thought that would be something cool to do. So you'll essentially have non-foil, foil, and a variant art border version of all those cards in that backer kit pack. We wanted to do that just so that those cards are never going to be made. They're not in the normal set in that version. So it just kind of is what it is, right? Like those are Kickstarter exclusive as a thank you to everyone and anyone that comes with backs.
That actually leads me into a question that I didn't have written down, but now that you've said it, it kind of came to mind, was in terms of what's the plans in terms of like reprints, in terms of managing that thing, because I know that's always a hot topic with any TCG, is how the idea of managing all of that kind of stuff, balancing collectors and accessibility of being able to actually get the cards that you want.
Yeah, so I mean, the way that I've structured the rarities in the game and being able to split up the structure decks away from the booster set creates a smaller card pool for the booster set. So it's much easier to collect 116 different cards at a base rarity in the booster set, the way that we have packs structured, because we've got 12 cards per pack, 30 packs in a box. So you're essentially getting 360 cards in a box, trying to hit 116 unique cards. The cool thing is most of the higher rarity cards, as the base rarity, so like the super rares, 6 out of 10 of those are Mark IV cards. Now, the cool thing about that is the Mark IV cards are a one of in your deck, period. So if you and a friend get a bunch of boxes and you pull different Mark IVs than each other, and you get a couple duplicates here and there or whatever, you can easily trade those between the two of you and end up with all of these super rare cards very easily. Anything that is a Mark II or Mark III is a 3 of in your decks. So you're not hunting down a bunch of super rare cards that you need 3 or 4 ofs like most other games. So we structure it very player friendly, but what we've introduced is a lot of alternate art / chase cards. None of the chase cards are mechanically unique, I will say. They're all alternate art versions, alternate bordered versions, or a combination of the two. We have some frame breaks, we have borderless, and then we just have straight up, completely different arts like this Allure Necros that I showed off earlier, right? Like, this is not the normal art version of the card at all. Like, this is, I'll show you. It's like, this is the standard art, and this is not borderless or anything. This is literally just the standard card that you would be able to pull in the game. It's an uncommon. And then this would be considered a secret rare, essentially. So it's a chase. It's got the frame break in it instead of borderless. But then there's also a borderless version of this. We'll have artist signature cards. We'll have serialized cards. So we've got plenty of goodies for people that want to chase stuff. You don't have to. Everything's pretty easy to pull. And it's by design because we want it to be player focused and player forward. If we don't have people that play the game doesn't go anywhere. So we have to be mindful of that. But the chase cards are there. There's a lot of cool stuff. Like, this would be an example of what would be a secret rare as well. In the game, we have these cool landscape, selective hollowed and textured weapon cards that you'll be able to get. They won't necessarily be this foil type. Oh no, we're on a break.
Yeah, I was just about to let you know about that here. Will I?
Bummer.
Maybe just show off a bit more art here. Let's kill some time.
Dang it! I don't know what we showed people and what we did now.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I didn't see anybody pop in and go ad break.
Yeah. No. Normally, I've got a notification that tells me, but I think that that was one of them that when I was setting this scene up, I probably wasn't thinking about it and just like disabled my alerts, and that went with
That's
it.
Good. Feel free to interrupt me if you see it coming.
Good. Yeah, I've been missing it. I get the alerts, and I haven't been paying enough attention.
Let's see. What else can I do? I could share my screen, right? Through here? I don't think that
it probably won't show. That would probably mess with things in terms of how I've got it set up.
Even if I share my screen through Discord? Oh, we're back.
Yeah, because it would probably I don't know, and I'd rather not find out right now.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we won't do that. So, like, here's what I was trying to show before break, right? Like, this is another one of the what would be a secret rare card in the set. So it is essentially just a landscape version of like a weapon card that's selective hollowed and textured. So like these are the kind of things that you would expect to be like chase cards. And again, if you want to go after them, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Here is an example of one of the pilots in the alternate border that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of see. So there's some pretty cool stuff that we're planning on doing with these. It's all selective hollow. This border is actually textured as well. So it's kind of raised.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yep. So we've done a lot of messing around and experimenting with different ways to create like a 3D pseudo 3D dimension to the cards with the foiling, and then layering on clear ink essentially to make them raised and have that texture without like a distortion effect to them. It just makes them pop a little more, especially when the light hits it.
I'm definitely looking forward to opening some packs myself in the future. That'll be I will be getting hand cam streams figured out so I can do that, because yeah, I'm gonna have boxes and I want to open boxes.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I hope that people do stream breaks so I can kind of pop in and hang out and do stuff like that too. I'm super excited about that. So who does the art? Ultra Knight said. We have, whoops, he just dropped the phone. We have an artist out of Indonesia that does a lot of the mech art. His best friend actually works for the people that make Armored Core. So he gets a lot of, thankfully, he gets a lot of friend time with him. So he does all the art there, and then we have a couple other artists that have done all the different pilot arts. So like Zoran Lee, he's out of Australia. He did this artwork for Romulus. We've got a Mexican artist who's also our graphic designer who did the all art for Allura. Man, this thing is just not wanting to yeah. So all the artist names are down in the bottom rights.
By all means, go ahead, if you have them, go ahead and plug links in chat. I totally happy, totally fine with it. I know Delucius, Luca in particular, I will be very happy to hear, is probably very happy to hear that one of her countrymen is the main artist.
That's awesome.
For reference to anyone who's new, anyone who may not know, Delucius in chat is Luca Delucio, and she is my main artist. She is the one who drew this form for me.
That's awesome.
So always, yeah, we love our artists here. By all means, go ahead and plug them.
Here, I'll show off one more. So this is, I don't know if we're gonna bring this back. We might. We're probably gonna rework it a little bit. This is another one of the arts in a kind of special hologram style, right? But she's also one of my favorite characters, and this was also done by Kundo del Castillo. He is our Mexican artist. He does a fantastic job, and he helps with a lot of the graphic design stuff too. So he's been helping out quite a bit with stuff, thankfully.
That's a really cool card. I like that.
Yeah.
Not the biggest fan of Aerial Tau myself, but that's just a playstyle thing. Love the design.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Love the design, less so the playstyle.
Yeah. No, I hear that. That's totally acceptable, I guess.
It turns out I mean, I haven't gotten fully into it. I suspect, like, Control is my main playstyle, but I suspect that once we have a full card set in front of me, opportunities will pop out for me for things that aren't Control.
Yeah, so like we did a playtest session last night actually for fully constructed decks, and the guy that built the Control deck was like, I don't really know if this is like Control enough. I'm like, okay, well, let's see. His deck looks a lot like your deck. And so I laughed when you sent yours over because I played against most of it last night, and I was like, I think this is as Control-y as you can get right now, and it's for kind of a good reason. For set one, we don't want too much like out of control, right? We're trying to balance between seven different pilot and core combinations and make them all as viable as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, even with my lineup, which we will get to in a bit, we're getting there. Patience, guys. Even with my lineup, like I know I didn't optimize it for control as much as I could have because I wanted to use that pilot.
Yeah. I mean, you have to build in some damage buffers, right? Like, you've got to be able to get some ping damage in here and there and get through any possible defensive capabilities as well, which people will see that when we play. I need to do a better job of having everybody's socials ready to go, because I don't. Which, funnily enough, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, we can circle back to it. No problem.
Ignore me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. You don't want to privilege one play style too much right out the gate.
Yeah, and absolutely.
Admittedly, I can see why especially control would be one that you would want to hamper a bit, because when control gets the tools that it wants, things
can make it miserable.
Yeah, it can get out of control very quickly. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't want the first experience people had to be with the game is getting structured decks and going, man, Romulus is so good because I can just sit here and control the entire game for the whole time, and you'll never do anything, right? Like, that's not fun for people. We're trying to make a fun game. We also want it to be competitively balanced, but control has its place. And once we get a bigger card pool, obviously, we'll be able to bring in more of that because we'll have more aggro stuff too. Like, balancing aggro and control and like bringing them in line with everything else to try to like balance all that out between mid-range and those two is not as easy as people would think. I used to give Bandai shit all the time because their aggro stuff for all their sets would always just be snapped. I'm like, every time you bring out a new card game, it's just, there's no point playing anything else other than aggro because everything else just gets blown off the playmat by it. But I think we've done a pretty good job. Not to toot my own horn.
I mean, I believe tooting your own horn is like the entire purpose of this stream, but you know, like
trying to bring the information to the people. Oh man.
Mom's listening to you upstairs.
I know, it's fine. Thank you.
I gotta say, I was intrigued by the idea, and I've played around a bit with ideas of a what's it, getting the term, the static, the turn-based short circuit damage. Like, I looked at that, I'm like, there's ideas there. I'm not quite sold on it with the existing cards yet, but
boy, just you wait. So that, we can go into that, right? Like, different cool effects in the game. We have damage over time effects. Right now there's just one. Not to say there won't be more in the future. Already planned, possibly already on a card. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. There's damage over time effects like we talked about there. The defensive abilities are pretty sweet. We've got stuff specifically for guarding your shield or guarding life or shield. There's a lot of interplay that can happen as far as like shutting down an opponent's weapon or one of their abilities on one of their cards. So if you're going to attack and you know you're going to attack and you know your opponent has a defensive ability that you don't want them to use, you can play a card down that has a keyword on it that essentially lets you shut that off. And then you can then proceed to attack. So you've disabled their mech's defensive capabilities, right?
This is foreshadowing, folks. It's going to happen a lot.
It's going to happen. It'll be exciting for the people. Probably not for me, but it's okay.
Yeah, short circuit definitely looks like fun. I gravitated to what I knew I liked, and it was like, yeah,
for sure.
With so many of these things, the answer is it's a few cards short of right now with what I have seen. It's a few cards short of the point where I'd start playing it. And I'm very confident that those cards exist, and I just haven't seen them.
Probably so. It's
Yeah, that's one of the big ones. Is people have seen Cal Bastion. I don't know if they have. Maybe they
I don't
haven't.
think they have seen that one.
I don't know if I have him
I'm not sure I've seen
at the
that
ready. Here, hang on 1 second. Look at me.
Impromptu
First deck.
impromptu reveal, guys. Let's go.
So,
Even beyond the reveals that were planned for this.
Right. Yeah, I know. I can't stop talking about the game. That's part of the problem. So Cal Bastion is cool, but his ability, he reduces all gadget cards cost by 1 in hand.
Oh, okay.
So
that has been at least partially revealed.
yeah,
I do know that because I looked at that and it went gadgets. Ooh.
yeah, I know, right? People wonder what are the gadgets. If you just looked at that card by itself and had no understanding of the card pool that is coming in the booster set or in the future, you would say, boy, that sounds like an absolutely terrible pilot, and that playstyle probably sucks.
Oh,
and you'd be right. All you had was the starter deck card pool.
I looked at that and I went, oh no, oh boy, that's cost reduction. I know it's coming. That's cost reduction right there.
The cool part is it's balanced around cost reduction of just a very specific type of card. And that card type is only found on configurations. So that is his whole thing, is modifying his equipment and weapons. Like so that's what he specializes in. So that's why he gets the cost reduction there.
Right. Okay. Oh, I'm liking the sound of that. I'm liking the sound of that. Spoken as someone whose current deck list has 12 configurations.
I saw that and I was like, he doesn't know, but he'll find out.
Yeah, no, there's stuff there. Well, it's been hinted at a couple of times, mentioned here and there. So let's just outright ask, what does the future look like for expansions and things like that? Assuming all goes well, which I assume it will.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a really good spot. Audio interference on the dev's end. Okay, I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure.
So as far as future goes, right? We have fulfillment set up already for Kickstarter, basically entirely around the world right now. So we're good to go on fulfillment for Kickstarter with multiple spots. So we've got Canada and the United States. There's a hub in each of those places. We've got a hub that will be in Germany and a hub inside the UK. The Germany hub will be for EU fulfillment. UK will be specifically just for UK fulfillment. And we've got a hub that'll be in Australia that'll take care of Australia, New Zealand, and South Asia. We're working with someone else to try to get into Indonesia specifically, because it's a really weird situation with bringing things into Indonesia from a non-distributor that's in Indonesia. So as far as Kickstarter goes, there's that, right? Post Kickstarter, set 2 is already being laid out with cards and everything. So we're well into development as far as that side of it goes. Once we're done with the Kickstarter, we'll just be full speed into set 2 and the PvE set. The plan is to do 2 to 3 sets a year, probably 2 sets for this first year in 2026. So set 1 will be hitting retail in Q1 of 26. Set 2 would happen 6 months later, and then depending on how the Kickstarter goes, if we get enough funds to be able to bring somebody in to help develop the PvE side of things, then we'll have the Kickstarter or the campaign mode ready to go too. That'll be going to retail. So the plan is 2 to 3 full sets every year, plus a full campaign box. And then in between getting the campaign boxes, we're going to release like one-shot boss modes that'll be print to play, so that you'll be able to print those out and play something from the upcoming campaign that will be kind of letting people get early, just specifically people that are kind of in the know, right? So if you're part of the community, you'll get heads up on that kind of stuff, and that print to play stuff will be available if you want it for PvE.
Nice. All right. I mean, that's definitely a solid lineup as far as I'm concerned. And I mean, Luca's referring to the Indonesian market, so if she says it's good, then I believe her.
Yeah, it's just getting in touch with the right people has been the problem so far.
As always.
Oh, that's the issue. So we'll see. We'll get some follow-ups to do, but I think we'll be in a good spot once the Kickstarter's going and people see the traction that we get.
So you've mentioned here and there tournaments and like official sanctioned play. What are we looking at there? Is like and anything?
Yeah, so I will make this announcement here and now, right? So if you're coming to Gen Con by chance this August, we will have a 16, possibly 32 player tournament that we're going to run on, I think, Friday. It's either Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. But it's one of those days where essentially you'll get handed a random deck and then you'll play the tournament with that deck. It's not, it's not anything huge, I guess, right? It's not constructed, but it'll be the first official tournament that we hold. And that'll be at Gen Con. So that'll be super fun for us. And then throughout, once everybody gets their stuff from Kickstarter, we're expecting like October, November is when delivery to happen. So I want to make sure we want to add. So once everybody gets their deliveries and stuff, we're going to focus on doing webcam tournaments for people that want to come in and play. And that'll be held directly like in our Discord server. And then we're also obviously focusing on LGS support too. So if you're entangled with a local game shop, I would encourage you to tell your store owner about our Kickstarter, because they're going to get a very large reduction in pricing is what they're going to have to spend. So it'll be cheaper than what they'll be able to buy from a distributor. And that's so that the direct sale happens between us and them, and we get a better relationship directly with the retailers. For every 2 boxes that they get, you can run an 8-player draft or sealed event out of 2 boxes of Chrono Core. And that'll cover all the booster packs for everybody playing, plus all the prize support for that. And then they'll also get an event kit that has a copy of every pilot, their core, all their starting equipment and weapons, so that if you're playing draft, you can grab whichever one of those that you need for your specific deck, depending on what you pulled. I said that would cover prizing. Yes, so that would cover prizing. The event kit also comes with participation cards that'll be special for the event kits, and then it comes with 3 winner cards. So first, second, and third place, they all get prizes for 8 players. So it's almost half the people that are playing are going to get some kind of prize. Draft will be run a little differently than sealed. In draft, you'll essentially be able to win a pack, and then you can open that pack and then supplement your card pool or your deck with that. And every time you win, you can do that. You can change cards out in between. Sealed, what you pull is what you get. You will be able to win 1 card. In Italy, as far as I know, people prefer English cards. Yes, that's awesome. I appreciate that. So in sealed, you'll win a pack. None of those cards will be available to put inside of your card pool, though. What you build at the start of sealed is what you play with throughout sealed. And then at the end, whoever comes in first, second, third place, they'll split the rest of the packs out of those 2 boxes according to placing. So those are the plans for draft and sealed. And then once we get into further in the year, hopefully in 26, we can start scheduling some actual in-person tournaments places. We're hoping that we'll be able to do something like at Origin or some of these bigger conventions in the middle of the country and kind of go around the country and do stuff like that. We're also not opposed to other entities in other countries running sanctioned events. We're already paired up with Best Coast Pairings. That we'll have a site. That site will have a full deck builder included in it, and you'll be able to have all the information for an entire tournament that gets run through there, because everyone will submit their deck list. So everything that happens in that, you'll be able to essentially see
what decks are winning, what cards in those decks are performing the best, and what cards are not performing well or decks aren't performing well as well, and those matchups between those different decks. So there's tons of information that we'll be able to get out of our partnership with West Coast Pairings and using them as our tournament software provider, which is why we paired up with them. They're also a great company, so that helps as well. Yeah, that's what the man. I keep feeling like I'm just word vomiting out here.
I'm pretty sure that's how interviews are supposed to go.
I know. Oh, that's so funny.
That's really solid, and I've already got. I should get in contact with. I almost doxed my general location.
Ooh, don't do that.
Because
let's make a note on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I'll mention it to you at another time. My local game store, that's for anyone who's not super engaged in the scene. LGS is local game store. I realized a bit, and it's like, oh, hold on, let's.
Yeah, kind of forgot about that.
Oh, good. Because I can think of a venue that would probably be quite interested.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, we love working with game shops. I mean, we've got 2 or 3 partnerships here locally, within like an hour of me, I would say. So like, I'm actually heading down the weekend before we launch to run a full 6-hour long demo day for them. And they're essentially sponsoring it. They're putting out ads for it. So I think that'll be awesome for us there. We've run some stuff locally, like in the town that I'm in as well. And there's another shop about 35 minutes north of me that's also really good friends with their store owner. So we've got a pretty good network so far set up, and we'll probably just work on expanding that, especially locally here. Yeah. Oh, can we talk about the ambassador program that we kind of have in plan?
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like, if you want to be an ambassador for the game, essentially like help spread the word locally, right? What we would do is, once we have product in hand and everything, we would send out like 2 booster boxes to you to run locally. It would be required, like, to prove, hey, we've spoken with this shop owner, we've got the approval, they're planning on running an ad for it, and you would have to prove all that, right? It's somehow, some way, we'll get there. But then once that happens, we would send you the 2 booster boxes and an event kit, and that would allow you to then run one of those 8-player drafts or sealed events. And then if the event's bigger, we can send more. It's not a problem. But that's something we would do. And then for being a brand ambassador or just an ambassador, you'll be able to get like extra points that we're going to do called core fragments. That'll be stuff you can redeem on our website to be able to get like special apparel or cards, or eventually even like a full booster box or something. But we would also give you kind of like how some TCGs do judge cards. We're probably going to do ambassador cards for people that you would only be able to get by being an ambassador for the brand. So that's kind of what we have planned for that. So you get some swag, you get some extra cards that people don't get, as a thank you, especially. You know, it's not easy to do. I know that for sure. I've had some experience with trying to localize and get some stuff running places. So I know it can be difficult, and it's not always something that store owners are interested in doing for a card game that they're not aware of, or, you know, their patron base is not aware of. So anything we can do to help you out there, we will.
So, sounds like something that I would definitely be interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
And very possible, just thinking on the fly here, I know that there's a few other VTs here in chat, at least 2. Hey guys, you want to do an online tournament? That would be pretty cool. Hey, yeah, huh? All right, fantastic. You know who you are. I see you in the list.
That's funny. Legendary King of Cups said, I'm curious about judging plans. So I'll just go over that real quick. Yeah, we'll be implementing a judge program. We're hoping to have that out before we start running like official tournaments in Q1 of 26. Shouldn't be that difficult to put together. I say that, but then like other people have done that as well, and it somehow took them over a year to do and put in place. So we'll have somebody that's going to be in charge of organized play, and they'll work with me. We'll kind of go back and forth and get all that set up. But yeah, no, we'll definitely have a full judge program. Essentially, as an ambassador, you could be the judge, right? So we'll have a test and everything like that you can take and become an approved judge for the game.
Fantastic. Just got a couple more questions, and then I think we should probably rotate over to gameplay.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. One of the aforementioned VTs chiming in. What's the pie in the sky dream? Like, what's the one thing, like, if anything could happen, what would you want to see happen?
Obviously, we would love to make enough money in the campaign to hire in at least 2 more devs, possibly 3 would be the goal. 2 for PvP side, 1 for the PvE side. So we'd be able to hire those people in, and then I can focus on developing and marketing, and then we kind of already have plans if everything goes well enough as well to bring in a director for art. So they would run everything art related for all the future sets. We are going to make some changes to the way we're doing art, I will say, for the future, just to help make each piece more unique. So we're going to bring somebody in to help with that. The goal is to grow the team. I mean, I'm not looking to get rich out of this by any means whatsoever. The full goal in all transparency is to build a team in place that can do the things that I want to do for the card game moving forward and for the company moving forward. If we get to a point where we're making millions of dollars a year, cool, whatever. That's not really a super concern of mine at this point. We need to get moving and get ourselves in front of more people and have more people play the game, because that kind of, how do I want to say it? It's not, I don't know what I'm trying to say as far as that goes, but the more people we get in, obviously the better the game's going to do. So player base is the most important thing to us, and having a well-rounded game, right? Yeah,
exactly. And last question before we take a short break, as I have to rearrange all of my things because I screwed up all my overlays. What would be any like short bit of advice that you'd have for someone looking to do something like you?
Do not plan on this being something you can do in 6 to 8 months. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you straight up. If you think that's a possibility, you are wrong. You will fail if that's your goal. If your goal is to actually make something of value to people and something that people are actually interested in, plan on 2 to 3 years minimum. If you can't invest in that type of time to find the right people, to cultivate the right relationships, don't sell yourself short. It's not going to work out. A lot of people that I've come across that have done this think they can put something together very quickly, and hey, I can build a card game super fast, right? Here's all this art that I got, here's all this, here's all that, and ultimately they fail because they don't understand how to build relationships with people, and they don't understand how to build an actual community of players, because they themselves are usually not very player focused. They're more interested in money. And if that's your goal, I mean, more power to you. Good luck. It's probably not going to work out for you. Focus on community. Just find the right people. It's going to take a while. I'm telling you, it will. It's not easy. This getting into trading card games or just games in general is not for the faint of heart, I will say. You're going to take lumps. You're going to have to make choices to cut other things out of your life, as far as things that you may enjoy doing or having or spending money on. Yeah, that's what I would say. That is that is my advice. Find the right people first and foremost.
Fantastic. Makes sense to me. All right. I think let's start pivoting over to gameplay. So I will be going to my be right back screen for a few minutes as I reconfigure things and fix the things that I broke. And we will be right back in a few. See you guys in a few minutes for a gameplay.
See you soon.
And we're back. Don't mind the scuff. Do not look behind the curtain. It's all fine. We're good. We got it. We
Good
are
night.
back and now in Tabletop Simulator for a demo game. And I suppose probably the first thing to immediately get it, or one of the first things get out of the way, is there is at least one card currently showing on my side of this table that very few people have seen before, likely.
Yeah, pretty much.
You
Probably not at all. If you want to show it off, I don't know.
Yeah, let me
see. Yeah, you can. So you can actually highlight these cards and make them bigger.
Oh yeah,
too.
Yep. Don't worry. Well familiar with Tabletop Sim.
So I added in some interesting cards.
Right. Forward to this. But yeah, the notable thing is my pilot, Dotar Sojak. This guy's fun. I looked at him and I'm like, ooh, two-handed melee weapon? One hand? Yes, please. Optimal? No. Fun? Yes.
He's pretty optimal at smashing things. That's what he likes to do.
He's optimal at smashing things, yes. Not quite so optimal for the rest of my game plan. Holy shit, I just realized I forgot to hit post on Blue Sky. It's been sitting there and editing the entire time for the past hour and a half.
Nice. So the cool thing about Dotar is he comes with Shockwave innate on his pilot side. So Shockwave essentially lets you trample into your opponent's life if you break their shields at the same time. So it's not a standard thing that happens in the game. If I have 8 shield left and you do 20 damage, it just blows up my shields. Unless you can trigger Shockwave. And then it lets you do damage over into pilot life. He also comes with the ability to equip a two-handed melee weapon with a shield. And he is the only pilot that allows you to do that. Typically, you have to run a one-handed weapon with a shield. So he's pretty unique.
To answer Mastodon's question, no, there is not a Cerberus deck on TTS. And
No,
this is not a pure Cerberus deck. This is, so I mentioned earlier in the stream that when I play tested at Gen Con, I liked my control. And so I particularly liked Tiamat and playing that. But it wasn't, in my opinion, wasn't quite optimal. So this is my modified version. This is a combination of Tiamat cards, mostly Tiamat, with some Cerberus mixed in for good measure, and the main weapon is neither. And given that it does not say the mech's name anywhere on the card, I will leave y'all guessing about whose weapon the Fang is.
It's on my side, just so you know. So the cool
there
thing
we go.
about the game
Look, there it is.
Good, I got you. The cool thing is, in the game, your core has 20 shield on all the cores, and then your pilot's life can be different between the two, right? So yours is 10, mine's at 12. So the way deck building works in the game is that you've got these little symbols up in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know if you want to like alt and blow it up for people. Yep. Fenwick's has an H up there for heavyweight, and then his core also has to be heavyweight to match. And then all of the equipment in his deck and even the starting equipment has to also match with that heavyweight. That heavyweight is what we call a chassis designation. So that's how deck building works in the game. It's not based on like a color or factions or something like that. It is entirely on that chassis designation of light, mid, or heavy. So that if you come over to mine, you can see I've got a midweight pilot, a midweight core, and then all of my equipment will be midweight as well. So that's how deck building works. And then maybe put some cool stuff in here. The frame break version of the Basilisk core, which is what this weapon, the Fang, belongs to. And then I just used all of the standard Basilisk starting equipment.
Nice. Basilisk seems solid. Like that's definitely one that I'll be looking at more in the future.
It's pretty fun. So as far as deck building, any of the Mark II or Mark III, which is essentially any of the upgraded equipment pieces, like I said earlier, you can have 3 of those, 3 copies of each of those in your deck. Any weapon that's a Mark II or Mark III, you can have 3 copies in your deck. The Mark I cards do not go in your deck. They're starting in play. So you'll pick those for beginning the game, and then the Mark IV cards, you get 1 weapon and 1 equipment card that go in your deck. And then as we play through this, we'll kind of explain the other card types, which will be configurations and support cards. All right. You want to roll, see who goes first?
Sure. A question from Sylvie. Any
Okay.
intentions to add further chassis designations down the line?
Yes.
Got 10. I got 11. All right.
Okay. So since you won the roll, you can decide whether you go first or second. The difference between going first and second is first player will get to attack first on their turn 2. Second player gets an extra core charge, which is these little bars here that you see at the top of the maps or the mats. Sorry, here over here. So the top one is what we call your max core charge. The bottom is your current. Max core charge is generated through your equipment cards that are in play. So everybody starts out with 3. You get 1 for each piece that's on in play to begin with. And second player gets to start with an extra current core charge just for turn 1. It goes away at the end of that turn. You don't get it to carry over or anything like that. It's not a token. So, all right, I've shuffled my deck. Have you shuffled yours?
Sorry. Let me get your cam back up. There we go.
Oh, you're good.
It's been I've played a lot in TTS, but it's been a while since I've used it heavily at all.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to draw cards.
I will choose to go second.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start. So we're going to draw 5. We're looking for 2 or 3 of the equipment cards, which are also designated in yellow. So each one of these has a different color code in the top left where their cost is. So weapons are red, equipment is yellow, support cards are green, configurations are blue. So we've got color coding, and we've also got text box identification in that green box down there for each card. So you'll be able to see all that. It's pretty self-explanatory. First player gets to decide if they want to mulligan anything out of their hand. I'm actually going to mulligan everything but 2 cards. So mulligan, you would take those cards, they would go face down, and you would typically just put them under your deck and then draw off the top. Since the TTS is not super great for that, I'm just going to set them off to the side, draw 3 new ones because I put 3 back. I'm going to put these back in the deck and then shuffle, and then that's my mulligan step. So the second player would then determine how many they want to get rid of, if they want to get rid of any.
Yeah, and I think I will get rid of 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. With this. So it's repeat that again because that's one part that I still don't have down 100% right. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. No, you're fine. So here's the whole turn flow, right? So when you mulligan, it's select a mulligan. You can take however many cards out of your hand, put them face down, draw new off the top, and then reshuffle the whole deck.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That one out. Draw one. That in and shuffle. Fantastic. There we go.
All right. So now we're ready for start of turn one. So it's pretty simple. First player doesn't get to draw, but they do get what's called a void step. So the void step in the game is at the beginning of every one of your turns after you draw, you can choose a card in your hand and place it face down into your void, which is up here in your upper right-hand corner of your playmat. It goes face down for a reason. It doesn't have to be public knowledge. So I actually don't have any cards that I want to void. So we'll move right into our main phase since we don't get a draw phase. Technically, well, I guess technically this is the draw phase. We just don't draw a card first, right? So main phase, you can play cards down or you can attack. Since it's turn one, I don't get to attack. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Mark III set of Greaves over here. And that cost me 3 to play it. It's denoted in the upper left-hand corner. So I go to 0 charge. And now I have 1, 1, and 3 as far as max charge generation. So I would move this up to 5. And then I would end my turn and pass over to you. So then on your turn, you get to draw, take your void phase, and then begin your main phase.
So I will. One. Oh, right. Okay. Yep. Yeah, this. And I don't think I want to void anything either, actually.
Doesn't make me feel good.
So on my turn, I drew, skipped my void step, and I will play down a Mark III. There we go. A Mark III Tiamat Greaves. Much the same. Ryan. Oh, wrong one.
Yep, you got it. You got it.
There we go. That's supposed to be a 4. That's supposed to be a 3. That reduces by 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Max goes up to 5. Since I'm going second, I have 1 left over current charge. And I will play this configuration.
Oh boy.
Or my last one.
So all the configurations cost 1. There are defensive ones that you can play face down underneath either the helmet or your greaves. And then anytime I declare an attack or play a card, he can flip that card over and resolve its effects. Most of them have on reveal effects that you would pay core charge for. So knowing this, like I know that he has no core charge left, so I'm pretty safe next turn to not feel the effects of that. But going forward, I'm probably going to.
Yeah, that's a decently significant part of this deck's game plan is there is a lot of configurations in my deck.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good to move to round 2?
Yep, I'm good.
So round 2, we do the reset phase. If any of my cards were depleted, we would move them to active. Depleted is just what we call for tapped, right? So then we reset our core charge, the current, to match our max. And then you'll move into your draw step to draw 1. I will then void 1 card here to the void. Draw 1 new one after that. Cool, we're good to go. So we're at 5. We're going to pay 1 to upgrade our gauntlets to our Mark 2 gauntlets here for the Basilisk. And then we're going to pay 4 to play down our auxiliary weapon. So auxiliary weapons are very important. They're essentially
seen this.
Yeah, they're essentially weapons you can bring in that don't start in play, but most of them are for support, right? So they have different abilities that you can build into your deck building and your play style. So now that I'm at 0 core charge, I have no other cards I can play. I can't use any of my abilities that have any cost to them. So now it's turn 2 or round 2. I can start attacking if I want, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to declare an attack here with my Fang Mark 1. So I'll deplete it. And then typically what would happen is the on attack window would happen, which is explained in this little sub attack category here. So the on attack window would open. I could choose to pay for any on attack abilities I have available. I'm obviously not using any because I don't have any core charge right now to pay for them. So I'm just going to deal 3 damage directly into his shields.
And I don't have any core charge either, so I can't really activate anything in response. So I will take that 3 right to the shields.
And then we're going to declare attack with this auxiliary weapon that we just played for 4 more coming in.
That bit hurts just a tiny bit.
Yep. And then we'll be at 6 charge because we've got 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. So next turn we'll be at 6. So then we'll pass over to you.
Right. Set. Back up. None of my stuff is depleted. Draw 1. Okay, I will actually void 1. Draw another. Oh, ad break. Okay. Sylvie.
And we wait.
In the meantime, I will change the size of cards in hand so that it's actually similar. There we go.
Yeah, I forgot that her ability does +1 damage too, like just innate for 2-handed weapons.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll take one extra chunk for that.
It's fine. You don't have to. It's my fault for forgetting.
There we go. That's the right size. I'm seeing another 30 seconds. So yeah, in the meantime, yeah, I really like Dotar Sojak. It is fun. That's fun.
Cool. I really like him too. The artwork is still like up in the air for me on whether or not like I really like it or not. It's like I don't know. He's cool because he's different.
But I've got everything the right size. I do not. And we're back from ad breaks. Fantastic.
Sweet.
All right. So I drew, I voided, and I will now take rest of actual rest of my turn.
Into the main phase we go.
So I quickly draw this back to my hand so I remember exactly how it works.
Oh, you can alt shift. Yeah.
Alt shift. Okay.
Alt shift on the face down cards.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, no, I can't because that's that is my combination for muting.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh well. I'll rebind the TTS one another time. I'm thinking about that. All right. Okay. I am going to spend 1 current charge. Play that guy.
Oh boy.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not excited.
And then I will, let's see. I will spend mental math. I will not actually spend this right now. So I will now move to I'm going to attack with the Fang first.
Okay. You want to trigger any on attack abilities?
I do not want to trigger.
Okay. So just 3 damage coming in?
Yes, sorry.
Oh.
I was looking at Dotar Sojax and like, no, I don't want to do that right now. Yes, I want the decoding. That's the entire reason I did it. What am I doing? Yes. I will trigger the on attack for decoding. So look at the top 2 cards of my deck, draw 1 and place the other at the top or bottom. Search top 2. Right. I will this and I will put the other one back on top, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Hey, come on, get in my hand. There we go. And put the other one back on top. No change. And yeah, swing for 3.
Take 3 damage to shields.
And then, oh yeah, and I spent 1 to activate the decoding. And then I will do basically the exact same thing with Aegis.
Okay. So
swing for 1, spend 1 to activate the on attack, decoding 2. Hey guys, look, it's the start of the game, and I'm doing cycling and hand optimization. Woo! And let's see. I will that and come on, it even highlighted it. And then I will conveniently just gonna do it this way. I will put the other one on the bottom.
Yeah. All right, I took my 1.
2. Okay, let's see. I will pass the turn.
No way. You're going to pass with 2 charge up? Never saw that coming. All right, round 3 we go. So I'm going to draw, reset everything. Boop, go back up to 6 current core charge. We're going to void this card. Draw 1 more. Oh, yeah. Love to see it. I think that's the play, right? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see what happens. We're going to pay 5. Play down our Mark III Pegasus Gauntlets.
In response.
Uh-huh.
I am going to pay 1 to activate. Come on. Or put that there for now. To activate a disengage to just shut down that really nasty Power Burst 3 No, I'm good, thanks.
Maybe so. So we've got these cool tokens, right? This is a lockout token that I put down here.
Oh,
But if you look at my camera, these are the actual lockout tokens that we'll have available in the Kickstarter. They are all double-sided acrylic. Yeah, we've got the actual tokens in-house.
Those are really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also
They're
on
much better than these
reveal,
black and white ones.
I
Yep, don't
draw
forget your
one.
draw one.
All right, carry on.
All right, since I can't use that anymore, that feels bad. What do I want to do? Anything? Can I do anything? Sure, why not? We'll do that, right? Okay, we're gonna go ahead, declare attack with our good friend the Fang here. And when we do that, it triggers Alora's ability when I'm attacking with a two-handed melee weapon to add 1 damage to that attack. So we've got 4 damage coming in. I'm not going to trigger any on-attack abilities. So it'll just be 4 coming in.
I will choose to reveal a no
Uh-huh.
to lock it out.
Yep. So you get the draw, you pay the 1 to lock out that. So essentially what happens is damage resolution doesn't happen until after the on attack and counter attack windows happen. So that would essentially lock this out, which we have a token for that as well. Wait, what did I do? Did I boob it? Oh yeah, forgot. This is the lockout token, not the rootkit token. We just use the, where's the generic? I have it in here. Anyway, we have a generic token for the, oh wait, no, we actually have a token, I forgot. For, yeah, I just don't have it in here. Why? Huh, weird. Anyway, so, yeah. Rootkit and lockout are 2 different things. I don't know why I don't have
to control deck
rootkit.
things.
I don't know why it's not on here. That's weird. Anyway, I'll just tap it out for now, right? So I know I can't use it. Okay, so you lock that out, which means the attack doesn't go through, so no damage goes in. So then we'll go ahead and set your 0. I will declare attack with the Jericho. It's a Mark III auxiliary weapon, and then the on attack window will open. So I will pay 1 to trigger short circuit, and that's going to put an effect on you as well.
Yep.
That effect is short circuit says your current attack applies a status effect that deals 2 damage to the opponent during their end phase. So at the end of each one of Fenn's turns, if he doesn't do something to get rid of that effect, he's going to take 2 damage into his shield every single turn. So it's 4 damage coming in now.
3 damage because of my Aegis.
Yes, sir.
Which
You
has
got it.
a passive, while depleted, reduce incoming damage by 1. I will take 3 now.
It's important to note that that can only happen once during your turn as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to pick and choose.
That I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the slight things that was reconsidered
100% it was.
as a result of me taking an hour and a half to go down.
Yep. I was so frustrated with shields that I almost took them out of the game, actually, because they were either completely worthless or broken, and I think they're now finally in a spot where they're viable to run and bounce.
Yeah.
All right. So since that's locked out, that was tapped. Use this, use that. She used her abilities. Well, oh no, she didn't. I didn't use that yet. Okay, so yeah, that's it for me, and I'm tapped out on charge, so I've got new defensive capabilities when it's your turn now.
All right. We'll set that back up.
If anybody has any gameplay questions, feel free to put them in chat. I'm trying to keep an eye on that as well while we're playing.
Yeah, by all means. Draw. I will 100% be voiding something. That. The void mechanic it's genuinely one of my favorite parts of the game. I love it so much.
Yeah,
It makes me happy to be able to ditch ditch the bricks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's for set one especially. There's not a ton of like raw draw capability, and we don't really want there to be a ton of that. Like it needs to be a trade off for game balancing. So introducing the void mechanic and then having a lot of filter options, and then having support cards in the main set that give you you can look at the top 5 cards to find something specific to that support card, and then you bottom deck the rest, right? So it's extra filter and cycle.
Yeah, love it. I will, so now that I'm actually in the main part, I will start off by playing a shield drone out for 1.
Ooh.
And on
Speaking of ways
play,
to get rid of short circuit.
yeah, exactly. And I'll pay another 1 to activate the on play system reboot, which clears any status effects that I have from opponents. Get rid of that guy. I was very sure to be quite mindful of short circuit. I was like, I know that if I don't have ways to deal with it, this deck just dies on arrival.
Yeah, for sure.
If
you're trying to play control and you don't have it built in, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. And that also has regenerate 2. I will take shields back. Also
like that.
Very nice. And then I will do that next. I will spend 2 and play out a Cerberus Visor.
Oh no.
Mark II.
Now you have innate system reboot.
Yeah, exactly.
Big sad.
Like I said, I was very sure to make sure that I had built-in, dedicated.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed. It'd be very ouchy.
And then let's see. Or
oh yeah, you're not running. Yeah,
no,
okay.
I'm not.
I was like, you can't reduce any of your counterattacks.
I cannot. That was that was an active choice.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I value more. Let's swing with the Fang.
Okay. Any on attacks?
I will do the decoding.
Okay.
Last charge. Because
3.
oh, I didn't mean to draw. That one is almost certainly going on the bottom of my deck, having seen it. There's no way that the other... Yeah, no. Okay. There is no universe where... Did that just... Yeah, that did just drop.
That's funny. I'll show you guys wall. These are our life and shield dials. They're fully acrylic dials. So that instead of having to use dice or something like that, you'll just be able to roll these bad boys and keep track of your life and shield. Those are made by the same people that are making our all of our tokens as well. Their name is Buy the Same Token. They're actually out of the UK. They're super great people.
All right, so I've resolved that. I did indeed draw the other card and put the one that I accidentally drew on the bottom of the deck because no, I'm good, thanks. And yeah, swung for 3.
Yep, took that.
Like that, and then I will swing with Aegis just to get a chip damage in.
Yep. You gotta have it tapped so you can use it for defense too.
Exactly. And I will pass my turn.
Okay, start of round 4. We'll reset everything. Good old lockout comes off. Reset this, match, draw 1. Draw 1. Sick. Love to see it. Okay. We're gonna pay 4. Upgrade. 1, 2, 4. We're gonna upgrade to the Fang Mark III. It's got some fun effects on it. Power Burst 2 and Siphon 2. If the on attacks are on the same card, you have to choose which one you want to do. Since I have Power Burst on another card, it makes it an easy choice if I want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and declare attack with the Fang. We're going to use our pilot's ability during our active main phase before we declare that attack to reduce the cost of an on attack ability by 1 to a minimum of 1, which is going to reduce a Siphon 2's on attack cost to 1. So we'll pay that 1. We will tap the card since we're using Siphon 2. Siphon takes shield away and adds damage. So we're going to do 2. We're going to put a 2 token on here for +2 damage. And then while our on attack window is still open, we'll then trigger this for 1. Do Power Burst +3. So then we've got another 2 and 1 coming in.
Yeah.
So we're adding 5 damage on top of the base 5 damage, plus Allura gives you a 1. So we're doing 11 damage into your shields.
Or exact shield wipeout.
Yep, unless you want to block one, but you don't have to.
Let me see. Let's look at this. Gonna be putting another 4 through.
Keep in mind, when your shields burst, you can immediately flip your core and overclock.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think I will reduce it.
Yeah, it's probably a good call.
I will take 11 directly too.
Okay. And then once that goes to 0, you essentially interrupt the game and you can choose to flip over or not.
I will 100% flip over. So because my shields went to 0, I am going to overclock. So this flips over, and immediately on overclock, search your deck or void for a shield weapon and equip it. Which I will absolutely do. Give me... Where is he? Where is he? Where is it? Oh, there we go. Aegis Mark IV. This guy.
Big Daddy Shield. So whenever a card comes in play on top of another card in that slot, it comes in whatever status that card's in. So it's going to come in depleted as well. Which, nope, that stays. You don't get rid of Mark 1.
Right, yeah. Right, yep.
So, there you go.
Oh, it's gonna, yeah, so it's gonna, there we go.
There you go. So the cool thing is you get the extra defensive capability now, right? You don't get the current core charge. So we should go over that, really, right? I can show it right here. Let me show you real quick. So let's say I had this card in play before, this Mark II. there's a on scrap ability at the bottom. So the way that works is you can only ever have one extra weapon on top of a Mark 1. So if I was going to play this card on top of this Mark 2 card, it would destroy the Mark 2. It would go to scrap after I've paid the cost, and then that on scrap effect would occur and give me +1 chargeback. So while I have to pay the full cost initially of the new weapon, I'm getting a reduction on it because I get some of that back. So that's how we have balanced weapons versus playing equipment cards, because equipment stacks and weapons replace. So that's kind of what that is. Okay.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite
Makes
things.
it makes it nice in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we got 1 charge left. I think everybody knows what's coming. We're going to declare attack here, pay 1 for short circuit, and we're going to be dealing 4 damage directly to you and putting short circuit back on your pilot.
I will reduce that by 2.
Yep, it's a good call.
Take that pilot down.
Yep, and then I will pass with no charge. So I've got, again, no defensive capabilities for me. Playing a dangerous game here.
I will reset. Oh, right. There we go. Slowly remembering my hotkeys.
Yeah, you're good. Sometimes I'm lazy and I just like lift and drop it so that it auto rotates.
Right, okay. Yeah. Remembering how things, the exact word. All right. Draw 1. Absolutely 100% voiding something. That. Draw another. And now. Overclocked mechanic is pretty cool. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah.
It gets, yeah, there's some crazy stuff. Like we have so many things planned for that mechanic. Like I need to stop talking about it.
Okay. I will spend 2. I will spend.
Yeah.
Math. I will only spend 2 only spend 2 to upgrade to Mark 2 gauntlets.
Love it.
Additional 4 charge, max charge, and then play another shield draw
Oh, no way.
to get 2 shields back and remove the short circuit. I've just got. We're gonna leave that right there because I know it's coming back.
This is my form of control, right? Like I'm putting status effects on you to control how much you have to work around it.
And then I will 3 charge left. Let's override this. So that gets scrapped. New one goes in its place.
TTS is the best.
Oh, right. That's
Just
why,
have the
it's doing that. There we go. Okay,
Getting these maths set up was such a pain.
I can imagine, yeah. that does not surprise me whatsoever. And then I will first attack with Aegis for 5.
Yep, I got nothing for it. So 5 coming through. Do you want to boost it in any way?
I do not, because that requires spending charge. And
that's the name of the game.
And then I will use Tiamat's overclocked active main to reset a card with a counterattack ability.
Yep. Love it. You can do so many cool things with that.
Math. I will pass.
You don't want to attack with your other weapon?
Right. Fang.
Okay.
It's mostly there for, yeah.
Cool. Puts me down to 2, right?
Yep.
Hurts my feelings. Alright. Interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna play this out now. Alright, so you're passing with 2 open, huh?
Correct.
Don't love it. Alright, turn 5. Reset. Ooh. Draw 1. Ugh, don't like that. Void it. Draw 1. I do like that. That's interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that actually. I say I like that, but then like in my brain I'm like, do I like that? I don't know. Yeah. That's how I feel about that.
Add in progress.
Okay.
Ad break. Woo!
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, man.
That's good. How's it going, lovely people? This is going about as I expect it to. I am figuring out the weaknesses of this deck. I also think that it's very possible that I am getting very slightly screwed over in my draws because, oh my god, I have drawn like all of my weapons and like nothing else. Like, you guys see how much cycling I'm doing. I'm doing all this cycling because holy shit, dude, I just need not a weapon. Like, I'd love to get one of these Oblivion refractors out, but I just can't because I'm not getting parts or my repair bays or any of the things to increase my core charge. And I'm sitting here with even with voiding things, like I need there's not actually that many weapons in this deck. And yet somehow it has not been mattering. All right. I think we're back from ad break. It says it's done on my end, but I know that that's not always 100% reliable. So let's see. Wait. You didn't miss anything. I was just complaining about my draws.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you didn't have that many weapons built in.
No.
Kind of made me nervous for you.
That is straight up. That is the opposite of my problem right now.
Oh, okay. Wild.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely wild. Yeah, I think there we go. We're good. Okay. So yeah, your turn with
Is it? Oh yeah, you're right.
Your turn looks like you full reset. Yeah, so you're good to go.
Man. I tried to scarf down a chicken nugget real quick. I ate it too fast. All right, we're good. I was like, please don't let me die on stream. That would be an interesting header for you, right?
Yeah.
Content creator, TCG creator dies on stream. All right. I guess I'm gonna have to try this and see if it works. I guess. Otherwise, I'm stuck. Okay, we're gonna tap Allura for her active main to reduce the cost of an on-attack ability by 1. We're gonna declare attack here with the Fang, and we're gonna siphon 2 shield off to add 2 damage to this incoming attack.
In response, complete.
Don't like it. Like it. So
I do not
putting
like
virus.
it. So I will hit it with virus.
Okay. Question is, do you want to keep it from resetting, or do you want to destroy it at the beginning of my next turn? Because it's changed since the last time you used it.
Let's see. Let's destroy that one. Oh, no.
Okay.
Nope. Doesn't reset. Doesn't
Okay.
reset. I was about to say destroy, but destroy doesn't matter because you're about to replace it.
Am I?
Well, you just went to 0, so I assume you're about to replace it.
Maybe, yeah, probably. That's probably coming. Okay, so we'll put the virus token on it, and I won't. Typically, what happens is I would turn this card upside down if it's going to get destroyed the next turn. Otherwise, I'll just leave it tapped with the virus token on it to denote that it's not resetting next turn, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's still 7 damage coming through into your shield, but since I don't have shockwave, it's just going to blow your shields up.
Yeah, I'll take well, actually, let's see the math. Okay, so 7 coming, 3 reduction puts it to 4. But if I do that one, I think it's equal either way. It's just in one. Yeah, it's literally equal either way. So that's interesting. Interesting how the math works. Once also on revealed, I draw a card. There we go. Yeah, it's interesting how the math how the math works. Well, except system override directs it to your shields, not health.
Correct.
And you're at 0, so it'd be redirect to you, but you're not actually taking anything out of it.
Correct.
Then you take 3.
But keep in mind,
no, it does. I do have to. In order to maximize reduction, I do have to trigger it. I do have to trigger it because then it gets there and then it ticks over and you hit me with the other one and that only hits for 2.
Yep.
Okay, we're there. We got there.
You got it. Look at that. All right, so blowing that up. We're at 0 shield. We're gonna do. Since we're at 0 shield, we can go ahead and flip. So we're going to overclock. On overclock, I get to go get a 2-handed melee weapon out of my deck or my void and equip it. I know it's not in my void because I haven't seen it. Question is, where is it? Because I don't see it in here either, which makes me slightly concerned that I forgot to put it in here. I can do it. Oh, nope, that's not it. Row. Did I seriously forget to put it in? No, there it is. I have prevailed. So we shuffle after we go and get it. It's going to get played. It's also going to trigger the on scrap to give +2 current core charge. It gets played. Virus is still on it. Gives me +2 current core charge to go to 8. So many fascinating things that can happen. Can't use that, which makes me sad. Sure. Why not? We'll do that. All right. We're going to play a maintenance hanger for 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll trigger the on play ability for 1 to regenerate 4 shield. And then I will play this upgraded Pegasus visor for 2. Gives me overshield 3 now, so I'm at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total for max core charge. And then the only things that I can do here are what's the cost? That sucks. All right, so we're just gonna swing for 4. I'm not gonna trigger any on attack abilities.
Okay. I will reduce by 2 from Aegis and take that to health.
And then I'll pass with 2 charge up.
I am slightly surprised.
Yeah.
I was expecting to be set to 1.
I have a bad feeling that if I would have done that, I would have basically lost the game. So I'm trying to play smart.
All right.
I have no clue what's in your hand, so I'm very nervous that you can drop an orbital devastation and boost attacks and essentially do 12 damage to me.
Okay, well, so straight up, my entire deck list, I don't run orbital devastation.
Oh yeah, you're right, you don't. I forgot.
I don't run orbital devastation because I looked at the cost versus damage and evaluated that was too high to pay for the damage I was getting.
So it seems like that, but in the situation you're in right now, it's absolutely amazing because you cannot reduce the damage from orbital devastation. It just happens. Period.
It's still spending 5, which which is for the cost of 5, I can activate a lot of things.
It is true. Yeah.
So I will draw. Jesus fucking Christ, get me something, literally anything else. Void. We are slowly trying to draw towards something that I actually want.
Keep in mind, these have draw ability on them.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing you have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're, it's amazing. I've been getting unlucky with my draw. I really have.
You have so many cards in hand. I have 1 card.
Let's see. Pick that. I'm at 7. I will start my turn by swinging with the Fang and activating the on attack for 1 for decoding 2.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Well, I'll pay the 2 and activate Overshield 3.
Cool. Fantastic. That was,
So since Overshield 3 hasn't been triggered yet this game somehow, Overshield allows you to reduce damage by 3 coming into your shields, but you have to have shield available to trigger it.
So that completely nullifies the damage, but that is completely fine with me because I was just using it as a 1-cost decoding 2 instead of a 1-cost draw 1.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a twofer.
I think in a lot of situations, I'm actually disincentivized from upgrading the Fang past the Mark 1. Specifically for continuous, just give me decoding.
Yeah.
I will.
I think you'll find that's not the case in the full set. You'll have other things they use for decoding.
Oh yeah, almost certainly. Like I don't doubt that a lot of the tactics that this current deck uses are ones that I'm only doing because of the cards available to me. Like that is
right.
100%. I'm sure the case. And Then I will. These draws. God. Killing me. Literally. Okay.
Idea.
Let's where it.
Oh no, it's not gonna work.
Oh yeah.
Big sad.
Okay.
I can't bring in custom cards. Oh, that's not what I want.
I think you can if you load them from like your saved objects. Otherwise it'll ask you to like import it manually.
Yeah, but it's not giving me the manual import option. Weird.
That's funny. It's giving me the dialogue.
Oh, because you're the creator. That makes sense. Yeah, just
Gotta
ignore it.
love.
It's fine.
Gotta love it.
Oh well, sorry. I guess you guys don't get to see the card. I was going to show you.
All right. Yeah, let's start by. What have you got up? That's not refreshing.
That's stuck. Save your bootay. Very bad.
In that case. Okay. I'm going to spend 1. Gonna trash that.
Oh no. More.
Lay down another one of these configurations. For 1.
Oh.
I am going to then deplete that for 1 to regenerate 2 off of the configuration.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? No.
Now, I'm not firewalling your shit yet.
I was like, wait a minute.
Not firewalling it yet.
Big sad there.
And then
I'm in a weird spot because now you can shockwave through into my life. So keep in mind, there's a little workaround with Quantum Blow. If you trigger Quantum Blow with Shockwave at the same time, it gets the added damage because it is going into shield first.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that would bump theoretically bump that up to 6, and then also with that, there'd be Shockwave and pushing you through to 2 on your health.
Yep.
However, I think I'm going to take a much more control approach and basically delay a turn. And spend 1 to trash that and put that out.
Okay, makes sense. I only have so much regeneration anyway, so it's not like you're.
And that's exactly what I'm relying on. Is ultimately I don't have to burst through to you.
Yeah.
And then I'll pass the turn.
You're not gonna attack with your shield first?
Oh right, yeah. I keep forgetting. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, because you can attack and reset it for free.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, attack with shield for 5, not activating any abilities.
Yeah.
Move your shields and then active main.
Are you sure you want to reset it though?
Yes, I am, because you only have one weapon. Uh,
All right.
one weapon to work with, anyways.
You may want to read my cards first. I don't know how familiar you are with Basilisk. I don't want to be too mean.
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. Oh yeah, you've got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, you have cards to flip too. That doesn't feel great. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right, round 6 we go.
Passing the turn with 3 active.
Reset. I'm gonna take virus off. No, I don't want the card. What are you doing? Just want virus. Take that off so I don't think the card is dying. We'll leave it tapped. We're gonna draw 1. Don't care about that. Avoid that. Draw 1. Don't care about that either. Okay. Things that I would like to see. I am not seeing. This feels very familiar.
Yeah, I think we're both on the same page there.
Yeah, we're gonna tap that for 1. Draw card. Oh my gosh, killing me. How is this even possible? I have so many configurations in this deck. Don't like that. Really my only option. We're gonna tap this. Pay 1. Steal 2 of your shield. To active. And then we're going to declare attack here. Pay 1 for power burst.
In response.
Mm-hmm. So I still get the on attack window.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So I would still be paying 2 because I already declared it for both effects. It's gonna put short circuit on you. Okay. So then there's 7 damage coming in, and then you would reveal. Yep.
In response, I reveal a no for and pay 1 to lock it.
Yeah. That's what I figured. So no damage comes through, but the status effect still happens.
Yep.
Okay. And I now have nothing else I can do. Total control at its finest. All right, we'll pass with 4 charge open and 2 shields. Ridiculous. Huh.
I actually overestimated how much I had to leave open myself.
No, it's fine. You got it.
Reset.
Oh, no. I guess technically you could. Well, no, you couldn't have shockwaved and quantum blood because that would have been 3.
That for 8 cards, so not about the limit quite yet. Oh my god. Fine.
There is no hand limit, so you're good.
Oh, there isn't? Fantastic.
Nope.
Void that. Draw another. Oh, no, come on, dude. Fuck's sake. Okay.
You're getting skinny over there, man. You're at 25 cards already.
Yeah, no, I know. It's the wrong 25 cards. I will once again begin my turn by attacking with the Fang for 3 and paying 1 for the on attack for decoding.
Sure. I'll do this. I'll pay 2. Overshield for 3. Reduction to make it 0.
Fantastic. I will take that. Oh, finally. Thank you.
Oh,
jeez.
No. Didn't want to hear that.
I'll keep that on top. Keep that on top. That one. I will pay 1, 2, 3
Oh no.
to play out a maintenance hanger. X charge on play. Spend 1 to generate 4.
Oh yeah, do that. I should have been at 9 last turn. Whoopsie.
And then let's see. Both of setting turn. That's fine.
That's less fine.
Yeah, it's not the best spot. I'm not gonna lie. This is not my favorite place to be. No, the math doesn't work out. I don't like any of this. I think I will swing with the Aegis for 5.
You want to trigger any on attacks?
I do not in this case.
Okay. Pop my shields.
And then I will activate it.
Okay.
Then I believe a bit dicey. Oh yes, no, I'm aware. I'm making sure you don't have it. You don't have any shockwave on the board at least. Which I don't think you do. So I am going to leave that stack of short circuit and pass the turn.
Okay.
And take the 2.
So I'm gonna take yeah. So round 7. Reset. Draw. Completely worthless. Did that. Draw 1. Hey, I finally got a card. I'm gonna put that face down. I'm gonna pay 1 to draw 1. Son of a gun. Yeah. Sure, why not? We're gonna pay 4. We'll trigger the on play for Rootkit, deplete an active card, and interrupt that card's abilities until the start of your opponent's next turn. We're gonna deplete this.
Yep.
Then we're gonna pay 1 for the active main to steal 2 of your shield.
Yeah, there it is. There's the combo.
Yep. I drew that and I was like, yeah, baby, here we go. Let's see, you're reducing 2 damage, so I need to get to 6.
No, I'm not because that's the card's abilities. So the visor disrupts it.
So the way that works, it has to be a triggered ability keyword, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's a passive effect.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I left to my own devices, I would have interpreted passive abilities as being included in that.
Nope, it has to be a triggered ability, so you're good there.
Cool. Okay, that is slightly less bad than I thought it was.
yeah, and that's why like some of the like that's why his ability down below that you may equip a 2-handed weapon. It's like that so that you can't disable it with Rootkit, and then be like, sorry, you have to discard your 2-handed weapon. Now you don't have one. Like that's the kind of dumb stuff we didn't want to happen.
Yeah, no,
so
fair.
yeah, that's by design. All right, and then How do we do this? Yeah, we do this. Yeah, sure, why not? We declare an attack here. We're getting the +1 damage off of this, so we got 6 coming in. We'll trigger 1 here for Siphon 2 to boost it by 2. And then we'll trigger 1 here to do Power Burst 3. So we've got 5 bonus damage, +6 is 11, +1 from Allura, so 12 damage coming in. I don't know what you have. I may be very sad at this exact moment. Especially if you can lock out the weapon. That would be very bad for me.
So that is the one thing that I don't think I can do. I think I'm probably dead here, but we'll see. So in response, I reveal that to rootkit that.
Yep.
To at least
it knocks off 3 damage.
Knock off 3 damage, which puts it at 8, 9.
6, 7, 8, yep, 9 so far, yeah.
9 so
minus
far.
-2 is 7.
-2, 7. You've got another weapon behind this, so it really, even if I really try, like, oh yeah, that costs 1. That's it. This one, yeah, I can't do it. There you go. Lethal goes through.
Ooh, good game, buddy.
I drew literally every weapon. I drew weapon. I drew every weapon in my hand, in my entire deck. Like, so let's look at my void first. So
oh my goodness.
1, 2, 3. So there's 3 weapons.
Oh, that was a mistake.
4, 5. No, it's not a mistake because I have 2 more copies in my hand.
Oh, jeez.
5.
Why
6.
Why did you play one of these?
Because I needed power floating to hold on, and I was hoping to get a maintenance hanger or one of a couple of other things that should have been there, and I kept drawing all of my weapons and all 3 copies of my gauntlets.
That's insane. So literally all the stuff left in here is probably equipment and figure support. Yeah. There's a lot of configurations in there.
Yeah, no, things weren't coming up. Not enough weapons. Sorry, not enough equipment coming up, and relatively little of my support.
Yeah. Wild.
Like, I was holding on using the configurations. Like, that was what was keeping me going to try to find literally anything else. And it was always like, okay, on reveal, I draw a card. Hey, look, it's another one of my weapons.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you almost probably should have played that on one of the turns. I don't know. Because you're right. You were just... Yeah. I think the turn that you locked out my weapon.
I probably should have gone more for the kill then.
Yeah, I think that's what you should have went for. Yeah. I think you, with what you had in hand, you might have been able to do it. Because you had 4... yeah, because you could have paid 4. Did I just freeze?
Looks like it. Or at least a bit. Your camera just dropped.
Well, my TTS locked up too. What in the world is happening?
Tech problems, yay!
So annoying.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty solid game.
Oh, for sure.
satisfied with that.
Yeah, I mean that was 2 fully custom decks going at it too. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
okay, there, I'll
Oh,
pop
yeah,
back
there we
in.
go.
Cool. All right, we're good there. Yeah, no, that's a good game, man.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
fantastic.
Any other questions for me to wrap up on anything?
I don't have any off the top of my head. I'll give a minute to see if chat has anything they want to mention, but otherwise, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks for this opportunity, man. This has been a
Yeah.
blast. This is
Absolutely.
it's really cool to be able to do this.
Yeah, I've been itching to get some gameplay in with actual custom decks and stuff too. So this was a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I think the proof of concept deck went about as I was expecting it to, minus
Yeah.
the draw.
Yeah, that's the most draw I've seen in anybody's deck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm trying to think of ways we could. There's definitely ways we can optimize it, especially with like the expanded card pool and stuff.
Yeah. I think given
it'd be good.
given the demo card pool, this is totally reasonable, about as good as like I would expect, in terms of things that you can pull out with a limited revealed card pool.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was there's 4 different support cards.
Yeah, that's
of the demo ones, and I used 2 of them.
there is only 3. You're right. Yeah, because those are the only cards shared between the structure decks.
Mhm.
Is the configurations and support cards. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different configurations and 3 different support cards. And then in the full set, we have 11 more configurations and 9 more support cards.
Mm. Yeah, that's gonna be really fun. I'm looking forward to
So
that a lot.
there's a lot of stuff there to dig into. The funny thing is, like, the first time I showed people configuration cards, they were so confused by the idea. They're like, I don't understand why you would ever use configurations. And I'm like, you will. And they're like, I don't think I will. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and
like
straight up, when I didn't have anything else figured out about this deck. Like I knew that it was like mostly Tiamat and some other stuff, but I knew immediately it's like, okay, we're putting in so many configuration cards.
yeah. There's I usually build in 8 to 10.
If nothing else, I figure I looked at it, because I looked at that and I went, that is 1 energy to cycle a card.
Right. And you can top deck or bottom deck it. So like,
exactly. Yeah, that's one energy to cycle, like that. I think that's probably worth it, because worst comes to worst, that makes a configuration a kind of spend an energy to get a card out of your deck to get towards the other stuff you want.
Right. It's kind of twofold too, right? Because the configurations you're paying 1 for them, yeah, but you're also drawing a card for free on reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're essentially paying 1 to draw a card, and then if you want the other stuff, you get it. It's yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always been a fan of the design, but I'm also the designer, so.
I mean, no, I love them. Hence the reason there's 12 in a 50 card deck.
Right. I think I think you'll like the gadget cards. I can kind of go through the list here of what's. So like, there's one gadget that gives power burst. I'll just give a general overview. There's another gadget that we haven't shown off that's a Mark IV gadget. I'll just leave it at that. There's a gadget that does short circuit. There's a gadget that has decoding. Yeah, so those are all the gadgets for now. Those specific ones.
The decoding thing is interesting because I think if I'd managed to get one of my auxiliary weapons in, with auxiliary weapons in play, and as an option, straight up, I don't think I ever upgrade Fang. I think I think a bit of chip damage, and I think that decoding, at least in this setting, is worth it. I think it's
for
worth
sure.
it because you have it there by default all the time. It's like, I want to spend one to get a shot at a better draw.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was part of why I chose this guy as pilot, was so that I could start with the Fang and Aegis Mark 1 and turn 2 rolls around, and let's spend 2 energy to do 2 rounds of decoding. Let's just quickly try to cycle towards things I want, and of course in this case it ended up being weapon. But
let me look at your list again. I want to see how many equipment cards you had. Let me go look. Maybe. I don't know how to get back to like
relatively few. 2, 3, 4,
Maybe
5, 8, 11, 13.
Yeah, so I typically have like 20 to 25. So that makes sense to me why that's the case.
Yeah, in that case, like, I'll probably, a revised list of this would probably greatly reduce the number of weapons, because I don't think I need that many. I don't think this deck
the way you're running
wants it. I don't think this deck wants very many weapons.
Yeah, you're if I was you, I would probably run like whatever top end weapon you want for your like main hand, for like run 2 or 3 Fang Mark 3s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna want like 3 Oblivion Refractor Mark 2, 3 Oblivion Refractor Mark 3, and then essentially you're just gonna want like 1 or 2 of your Mark 3 Aegis, and then your main Mark 4, because that's what you're gonna go get, right? Exactly. So you know that's kind of on the table. So you can definitely squish that into like 10 cards instead of 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11, 14, 15 cards. You can probably cut 5 or 6 out of that easy and bring that into your equipment pool and give yourself a better, since you cycle so much in this deck. I would say you can hit those Mark 3 cards pretty good. Like, yeah.
I was so hoping to get the Cerberus Visor Mark IV out, because I was really keen. I was really hoping I could start hitting you with 1 energy firewalls. Just sit there.
I was not looking forward to that.
No, bro, no, you don't get to do anything. Pay more for everything.
It's brutal. I had that happen a lot during Gen Con playtest sessions, where people would be like, no, pay extra for everything. I'm like, I don't want to though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, too bad.
Like, I had it as an option too with this with the Mark II Cerberus Visor. But I couldn't get enough energy to fit it in because I kept missing draws for weapons.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's me being able to put the pressure on you with consistent short circuit does not help your situation.
Yeah, no, exactly. I got lucky with the shield drones on that for sure. That's one thing that I did get lucky on, was the first 2 times that you brought the short circuit out, just having a shield drone ready to go, of like, okay, let's just get rid of that.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I run that auxiliary weapon, right? It's not like, my main play style is I want to smash you with 1 weapon as hard as I can every time. Like, that's the goal for Allura's deck, right? But like, the auxiliary weapons give you an opportunity to bring in almost like a sideline, different kind of play style, right? Like it's just an option. So I could have reinforced being able to push more damage through with a different weapon that does more damage and boosts its own damage as well. But instead, I opted for forcing you to play around having to deal with short circuit while I'm also trying to smash you in the face with this big pole arm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. And like I also where was it? Like that one the Javelin of Faith, like that was partially in there as just like another little thing of like, you know, give me an option.
Yeah, for sure.
That's something that in a full match would be on sideboard.
Yeah.
Like I probably wouldn't default run that. That would be sideboarded.
I'm a doofus. So Dante's Inferno is a card. You were right. I don't know why I missed it.
Oh.
I don't know if it's what you would really want in that deck though, because it has feedback loop.
Feedback loop was there. No, that was intentional.
Oh, okay. So it was like it lets you put 2 stacks of short circuit. So I don't know if that's what you were like. That's the main goal of that card. But I see.
Yeah,
okay.
it was the exact same thing as the reason that you've got it. It was that having that tiny bit of short circuit, for with a deck whose intention is to sit here forever.
Yeah. So here's the other question: did you have anything else built in that you can even give short circuit?
There was that. What's that one support card that increases short circuit? I forget what it's called.
No support card.
Not support.
Configuration. Does one of them
there was one other thing.
Infest. Infest does give short circuit. You're right.
Yeah, Infest.
Okay,
that was it. And so
that might have changed things. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's my bad.
I drew one of them right towards the end, and it was like, no, I'm already kind of in survival, like holding on there because I didn't get things early.
Yeah, nope, that's my bad. I don't know why I couldn't find it. My brain was also like fried because I was trying to get the decks built as quick as possible, and I had to fix a bunch of stuff real quick.
All good.
Does anybody else have any questions in chat, or are we good?
I'm not seeing any, so I think we're probably good to wrap up.
Cool.
Thanks again. This is phenomenal. I love this.
Yeah. Had a blast. We'll have to do it again sometime. Maybe we won't have to do the interview portion. We can just stream some games for people if they want to see it.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I could see if I could enlist another person or two.
Awesome.
Explore some other things.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we can play multiplayer mode one day.
Yeah. I'm sure we can fit it in somewhere at some point.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Any closing remarks before we end off stream?
Yeah, like if you want to check the Kickstarter out, you can literally go to Kickstarter. You can just type in Chrono Core. It'll be the first thing that pops up.
Link it.
We launch on March 18th.
Link it.
Yeah, I know.
Give them the link. Give them the link.
The last time I had it up, this is the issue I run into. I need the Twitchy. Because the last time I had the Twitch stream up, it literally almost crashed the computer. But now I'm not in TCS, so we should be good. Go to this, do this, boom. All right.
There we go.
Here is the link. Check the link out. Go check us out if you're interested in the game. You can also check our YouTube channel out. We've got a 4-minute kind of quick play on there. What is happening? My stuff is not saving. There's a 4-minute kind of learn to play quick thing on there, just in case you want like a quick refresher. I will post that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is taking me way longer than I wanted. There we go. there's that as well if you want to check it out. Yeah, as always, thank you to everybody. Really appreciate you taking the time, Fenwick, to check the game out. Appreciate your interest in it, especially, and the willingness to hang out and talk to me and play the game.
Thanks again. It's so fun, man. It's cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing more and doing more.
Yeah, me too. There's good things on the horizon, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks everyone for coming out. I will wrap up stream now. So I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their mornftern evening. I am Fenwick Alcester, and I hope you guys have a lovely day and night. And mornftern evening is say it again. Now, get out of here. Bye-bye.